Hi, Mark here from the Tangibound Podcast Network and host of the flagship show, the Tangibound Podcast. Did you know that we over at Tangibound are always looking for amazing podcasts to promote? And did you also know that we are also proud nerds and geeks of everything from movies, music, gaming, TV shows, and comic books to wrestling, MMA, soccer, and football? Whatever you can nerd or geek out about, we've got it. And if you're interested, we can help you find it. And if you're a show looking for a place to call home, we've got you covered. Side effects may include upset stomach, dizziness, tumors, shakes, and in some rare cases, death from excessive laughter. Though to be fair, it's only sometimes. Other side effects may include diarrhea, gallstones, heart palpitations, and strong desire for cookies on the dark side. Talk to your doctor and visit TangiboundNetwork.com and see if Tangibound Network is right for you.
Hello, and welcome to the Moving the Needle podcast, where we ask, what moves you? Excellent or bogus? Did anyone do the right thing? Do you mess with the Zohan? With me tonight to discuss Do the Right Thing, Rocky vs. Creed, childhood, guilty pleasures, a test of time, you don't mess with the Zohan, once upon a time in Hollywood. With me tonight is Stephanie.
Hello.
Roy. Hello. And Henno. Yo, we want to thank you for listening on iTunes. We're also available on Spotify, just about everywhere you can find podcasts. We are, so come on now,
Google
let
Play.
us know. Email us at mtnpodcast@gmail.com or on facebook.com/mtnpod. Twitter and tweet us at mtnpod. There's so many ways to find us.
Welcome to the podcast from Temperance Town, the sexiest podcast of world renowned. Tony grows a beard to hide his chin, swaps it with Earl so it glistens. Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. Download the pod, you won't get enough of these dapper chaps talking deadly fluff. In Hobo Gulch they run a homeless mission, clanging and banging with the pentagram of kittens. Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. They enjoy their whiskey and local craft beer. By Odin's unkempt pubis we give a cheer. Tony's a raccoon when he's booziest. Don't be a savage, be an enthusiast. Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. On the frozen tundra they call it a lock. Tony likes to masturbate in a sock. Brian pisses rocks cause it feels so great. I still don't know who the fuck is Tate. Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. The boys will let you know when there's a due to male pattern baldness, they don't wear curlers. Stay salty, people, that's their closing line. And don't forget, have a beer, you'll be fine. Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. Salty language.
Hey enthusiasts, what's happening? This is Salty Language, episode 475.
Phew. Sexiest podcast on the network.
Yep.
Man, we're getting close to 500.
No, we're inching there. We still got, half a year roughly, but...
Yeah, man. We should do something epic.
Yeah. You know what's funny is we've set the bar so low for what we do on our
I know.
anniversary episodes, our big, ones. I mean, we've done a couple. Like, I think, what was it, like 200 or 300 where we did the giant size?
Oh, we could do an even bigger one.
Yeah. Well, the giant size I thought was good because it was, an homage to comic books also.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm saying
we should have
we
been
can do
doing
an even more gianter size.
El Gigante.
Yeah, exactly.
For anyone who's a wrestling fan from our era. They're gonna be like, no.
Yeah, that weirdo with his fucking furry shoulder costume. What's going on there?
Oh man, he's one of the distinguished foes that got to face Undertaker at WrestleMania.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah,
Must have been a low year for the WWE.
Yeah, they're like, all right. Well, it was before the streak was a thing, you know.
Oh,
Really, like they probably mentioned it, but he was, I don't know where he was in the streak, but it was probably like 6-0 or something like that. It was wasn't a huge deal, kind of a thing. And they were just like, who's this year's fodder for Taker, And
like I don't know. How about that guy with the furry shoulder suit thing?
Yeah. The guy in the fur bikini, got it.
Got it. Nailed it.
Yeah.
What a stupid costume that guy had.
Yeah. Well, the thing was, other than being tall, the guy was not physically impressive.
Well, he had that, Easter Island jawline.
Yeah.
That was dope.
I don't know what they should, but anything it feels like would have been better than that suit.
Yeah, we'd bring back Shockmaster. That would have been sick.
That would have been awesome.
No,
Yeah.
for sure. It
Dude,
would have been better.
It would have been great because what you do is you do a casket match with Shockmaster or Buried Alive. Take your pick. And he just comes out and just trips and falls right into the thing. Taker just closes it up. Victory.
Yeah, that would be actually hilarious.
Like Taker, when they're playing the guy's music, you just see Taker pushing the casket toward like the entrance area. What is Taker doing? And he just trips, falls right into the casket. Taker just closes it. Rest in peace. Yeah.
Everyone's like, that's it.
No, everyone's like, thank God it's over. That already went 3 minutes longer than it should have.
Good old Shockmaster.
Oh, shit. Those were the days.
Right?
Of really, really shitty gimmicks. That's what there was more than anything.
I mean, if you're going to have a gimmick, might as well make it shitty.
Yeah. Whew.
Probably the shittiest even.
Yeah. It was pretty bad.
It's all right though. We're going to get over it. We're going to get past it.
At least he got to be Tugboat and Typhoon also.
Well, I mean, you have to admit, when we first show up as Tugboat and like that Cracker Jack costume for an overly large man.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
It's like, oh,
dude,
boy.
Vince McMahon was about shitting himself, laughing in the back too. The first time he saw that dude in that getup,
Maybe Vince has got like a Sailor Boy, fetish.
Man.
Yeah, you want to wrestle? You gotta put this on.
That's about it. I was listening to the New Days podcast, and Big E Langston, who's a very large man, and I mean that he's a like former power lifter kind of large man,
right?
Just muscles on muscles, And he was talking about how Vince put him in a singlet, and he said that, but it was in like one of those. You remember the thing Taz used to wrestle in?
Oh yeah, like boy shorts singlet.
No, it wasn't even a boy shorts one. It was more like a bathing suit type gimmick. Like it was
that's
like
right. He had those like 80 high hip cut thing going on, didn't he?
Yeah. And that's what Vince wanted Big E to wear. And he was like,
I want to see those powerful hips.
Well, that's the thing is, Big E does have large legs because he's a power lifter, But he also, as he was saying, he was blessed with, a lot of ass. So basically a couple moves and his cheeks were hanging out. So, he said he ended up getting like one that's a little more like the boy shorts one and then just pulling the shorts part up a little bit so that it would still show off his legs like he knew Vince wanted basically, but also so
Let me see those creamy thighs.
So his cheeks weren't hanging out. Oh man. Yeah.
Yeah, Vince is a creep. I know. Convinced.
Well, The Miz mentioned it too, because The Miz said, when he first came out, I don't know if you remember or not, The Miz used to wear like long jean shorts and all this kind of stuff. And at one point, like he came out in something different, and Vince saw,
tidy whities.
Yeah, basically. Well, Vince saw his legs and was like, Vince thinks you have good legs, so he wants you to wear trunks from now on. So now you
Come
go
on,
from
Miz, show me them gams.
Yeah. So you go from wearing shorts that are like below your knee to now you're in nut huggers.
Yeah, exactly.
Those are the things that blow my mind. Like, I'd love to have more stories and such of the costume decisions, because I know, none of the talent can just wear what they want to wear. Every little piece of it has to be approved by Vince first.
Oh yeah. Like I picture Vince's like assistant talking to, I don't know, let's say Bob E. Smith, the new wrestler on the block.
That's a great name too, yeah.
Right?
And it's Bob E, like a middle initial period Smith, right?
Yeah.
Like
Smith,
okay,
exactly.
okay, just like Paul E. Dangerously, right? Just checking.
Like, Mr. Smith, Mr. McMahon would like you to model these 10 outfits in his office. He walks in and is like, yeah, I'm going to watch you model these, and I'm going to slowly jag off.
Yeah.
Maintain eye contact, or you're fired.
Yeah, there's part of me that believes that's how it works. Because I never understand, in wrestling, it's one of those things where they'll push a narrative on you, right? Like, they had these guys that they called the Forgotten Sons, right? And they were supposed to be like a Sons of Anarchy kind of thing. Like, they were supposed to look like bikers, right?
Right.
Well,
was Undertaker in charge of him?
No.
Well,
that would have been kind of funny if that would have been his new, oh shit, I can't think what it's called now.
His crew, his clique.
Yeah, whatever. That's not the word I was thinking of, but yes. Stable. Stable is what I was looking for.
Stable, there you go.
Anyway, so these guys come out, and like, was it one or two of them are in Nut Huggers, and I'm like, yeah, I don't think you'd have Hell's Angels out there in Nut Huggers wrestling. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's how you get your ass kicked.
Yeah, like, I'm pretty sure they'd all be wearing jeans or pants of some sort. Put them in leather.
They should look like they came in on motorcycles.
Yeah, it should look like, seriously, go back to Biker Undertaker and, get rid of the light blue denim. But aside from that, kind of use that as your inspiration.
Or, I don't know. Watch season 1 of Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah, do you see the guys rolling around in Nut Huggers on that show?
Exactly. Like, oh, well, that's just Pete's style. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, he's a crazy one. I don't know why he wears the chaps, but
just be glad he cleans up his bikini area. That's all I'm
yeah,
saying.
right? Yeah. Because that's what it is. He comes out, he's just got Nut Huggers and chaps on. He's like, all right, guys, let's ride.
I'm like, the fuck?
Like,
don't worry about it.
I like it when the wind blows the hairs on my upper thigh. What can I say?
Feels good, man.
Yeah, let you know you're alive. But there's different gimmicks over the years where that's the case, where it's supposed to be some big manly man, and he comes out and he's wearing, like, the tiniest Nut Huggers, and I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. Like,
well, that's how he establishes dominance.
And I get it. A lot of it's because, most of the wrestlers work really hard on their physique. Some not so much, but, most of them do. And I understand. So literally, if you're in really good shape or you're really out of shape, Vince wants you in as little amount of clothing as possible. Like,
yeah, that's very true.
Here, do this right now. Type in WWE Otis, Otis. And I've talked about this guy before because when he was part of a tag team called Heavy Machinery, I was like, these guys remind me of like an 80s wrestling gimmick. But I'm not going to lie, this dude has won me over. He's hilarious. Like, he's just a big goofball in the ring, and he's a power lifter dude.
Boy, those are the biggest briefs I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. Yeah. He used to wear like the Taz singlet, but it's...
Oh, I see a picture of him in the Taz singlet.
Then it became he'd come out in a shirt that clearly wouldn't cover all of his belly and Nut Huggers, to where now a lot of the time, like, he just wrestles straight up in the Nut Huggers now. Because, he rubs his gut and, Vince, I'm sure, is just dying in the back, loving it.
Yeah, look at that chubby guy go.
Yeah, basically, that's probably what it is. But the crowd, now it's different. But when there was crowds, the crowds love this guy. He's just got charisma all over the place. Yeah, so...
Man, his chicks is hot.
Mandy Rose? Yeah.
Whatever.
She's something.
She is.
Yeah, she's something, all right.
Yeah. All right, that.
But anyway, so yeah, like I said, it's funny to me how Vince keeps doing that, and like I said, some of them I just don't understand. You know, like they had a dude named Karrion Kross in NXT that he's doing this like doomsday.
Is he carrying crosses like Jesus?
Obviously, no. But yeah, his lady's not bad either. But he comes out in the Nutters and, you know, he's pushing this like doomsday agenda, and I'm like, and he's, you know, it's like, why is he not in like something
Nothing
cooler
says
looking?
Doomsday agenda.
Like
Like your balls hanging
like
out.
you don't give a fuck that much that you're just like, I'm just going around my underpants, dude. I don't care. Like I'm Randy
Yeah,
Orton.
exactly.
I'm like speaking of, I'm going to transition, but still stay in the same topic. Randy Orton launched a clothing line the other day. That's one of the funniest things I've ever heard. Because it can only be t-shirts and underwear. Because that's all the guy. Oh, and hoodies. That's all the guy wears on TV.
I was hoping it was going to be overalls, so it'd be like Orton's overalls.
No, it's called Slither, but there's no vowels in it because, you know, that's the cool thing now.
Wait, what? Oh, so it's like SLTR or something?
There's an H in there, but yeah.
Ugh. Maybe he just can't spell.
That would be funny. He's sitting in his house. He's really talented as a designer. You know, he's doing like fashion design mock-ups and shit. But then when he goes to write it, looks like a kid in kindergarten. He's got the line paper, you know, those big line paper.
Oh, yeah. Like the inch wide lines with the dashes in the middle.
Yeah. S-L. Yeah. T-H-R.
Like that. Like, Randy, that's not how you spell slither.
Fuck you, it's how I spell it.
Is it?
I'm a 13-time
You're
world
right.
champion. Yeah. Do you know who I am? He just, no, he doesn't do any of that. He just RKO's him. That's just
Yeah, fair enough.
out of nowhere.
No, he just signed his contract, just puts his handprint on it.
Yeah.
God, jeez.
All right. Guys, like, you look at the notary and, like, does this work? They're like, yeah, I saw him do it, so good enough.
I mean, I guess.
It's how he signed.
Could you tell Randy to stop licking the ink off his hand?
I can't do that because I don't want to catch an RKO or a punt in the head. You tell him.
So salty, guys.
Yeah. He's like, on TV, I'm the legend killer, but in real life, I'm the lawyer killer. Yeah, I just kind of, it's all like, you know, Snake branded stuff because, you know, he's the apex predator. I almost called him the rattlesnake. That's a whole different wrestler. That's Stone Cold. The Viper is Randy's thing. So, yeah.
Well, let's see here. Randy Orton clothes. What do we got here?
Do me a favor, since you're going to find the link for that, can you send me the link? Because I actually forgot to grab that.
I gotta find it first.
Right.
Watch the new clothing company. Gotta find the right link here, Brian.
Yeah. He had been teasing something big, and I saw on one of the wrestling news sites, and it's like, Orton finally drops big news, and I look, and I'm like, why does anyone give a fuck? Like, if I want a Randy Orton shirt,
SLTHR.
if I want a Randy Orton shirt, I can just buy one on WWE.com.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Oh, I go to Instagram at Slither Shop.
Slither.
At Slither.
A Sizzler, what?
Bro, do you need a hoodie with no sleeves?
That's what I told you. That's why I said it can only be t-shirts, hoodies with no sleeves, and underpants. That's all he ever wears on TV. It is so rare to see him, aside from when he was doing the Evolution gimmick, where they all came out in crisp suits. Other than that, he's pretty much just been in nut huggers and a t-shirt every time he comes on TV.
Oh, they don't have anything on their thing yet.
Oh.
Because I
What?
went to their Instagram.
How do you launch a line and you don't have at least one shirt?
Yeah, I went to their Instagram and there was a link in their profile. It's like go to Slither Shop,
Yeah.
and I went there and it's like sign up now to be one of the first access Slither.
Let me guess, they hit you with deals out of nowhere.
No, maybe.
Ugh.
Oh, you might find this shocking. Hold on. Oh, never mind. I lied.
All right.
I was like, their most liked picture is a chick wearing lingerie, but that's a lie.
Oh,
It's
all right.
Randy Orton in his underpants of lightning behind him. It's a Slither.
So Randy Orton in his lingerie.
Yeah, basically.
We
Yeah,
talked
I'm
about
not
that
gonna be
last week.
following Slither Shop.
You should. What are you talking about?
I do want to know who they're following, though. Oh, Kim Orton and Randy Orton.
Oh,
Oh, maybe the chick in lingerie is his chick. That would make sense.
that would make sense. His wife. Last time I saw his wife was fairly attractive. So yeah.
Let's see here. I'm deep diving now, baby.
RKO. Oh.
Yeah, Yeah, she's all right.
Yeah. So
I mean, not really my type of lady, but
she's his,
whatever.
I think that's his second wife. I think he was married once before.
No, that shit happens, Brian.
So, anyway.
All right. Let me get out of this. Let me get out of Randy Orton's family's social media.
Right. Yeah. Quit looking at pictures of Randy Orton in his trunks.
That's all there is, though.
How did those? I mean, I know like for swimmers and stuff, that's like the thing, but it's like I just don't understand how that became. Like, I understand wrestlers want to show off their bodies. I just never understood how those trunks became the way that manly men who are clearly not gay, and I'm only saying that because that was the mentality at the time.
Yes.
You know, manly men who are clearly not gay parading around in as little of things as possible, earled up, you know. Like,
yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Grappling with one another. It's very interesting how that clearly it is always so funny how masculinity has been, you know, how all the things that you were like, dude, you're touching that guy, you're gay, but then it's like you see two guys roughhousing, as they call it, and they're just slithering around all over each other, you know.
Slithering.
And it's like, how is that not, like, you know, I don't understand. This logic doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense, right?
Anyway.
Slither.
Anyway, so yeah. But anyway, you know.
Whatever, that's what I say.
I'm excited that
whatever.
WWE Battlegrounds comes out in a couple days.
Is that like their first-person shooter?
No, it's the arcade-style game where, remember I was telling you, like, I saw they had some gameplay footage and it shows Undertaker crawling up the side of a steel cage, and all of a sudden, I think you see, like, one of the guys hit something, and the whole cage is, like, electrified. I was like, now that's a Hell in the Cell I'd watch.
Yeah, fair enough.
But anyways, the game's supposed to be, like, just over the top, just kind of fun is what the goal is.
Well, I mean, you know how that goes sometimes.
Yeah, I know. I'm rolling the dice on it because it's only a $40 title.
Right.
So, I mean,
Speaking of $40 titles, have you played Tony Hawk yet?
Not enough, no.
You son of a... Okay.
Listen.
What?
I told you about Madden last week and the story of Madden, and I have to keep spurling this story because it's so ridiculous.
Okay.
All right. So... I'm doing all the things, right? Like, I go through my first 3 years. I throw for like 4,500 plus yards each year, almost 50 touchdowns or whatever, right? Then at one part, the game just is like, you know, the narrative starts talking about your knee or something like that. And basically you blow your knee out like Tom Brady did. Like, just completely thrashed it to where you miss a whole season, essentially.
Yeah.
So the team makes the playoffs, and, you know, at the year after or whatever, and you're like, I'm coming back, I'm going to go play. Well, dude, it drops your stats so bad to where I look like Peyton Manning in his final year trying to throw a football.
Oh, boy.
I'm all noodle arm out there. It was terrible. I couldn't throw anything more than about like a 5-10 yard pass without putting all the air underneath it. It was bad.
Wow, that seems kind of crazy that they did that.
Once I realized that, I, of course, just start, you know, nickel and diming the defense because they'll give you 5 yards pretty much all day long. So I just took it, you know.
Right.
But I was like, woof. And my dude's fairly mobile, but of course, you know, with a banged up knee, I look like Tom Brady running, you know.
Right.
Oh, it was
just
bad.
Get a rascal scooter out there.
Dude, it was so bad. But then, you know, afterwards, the coach shuts you down because he's like, the doctors didn't give me good news, and shuts you down for the season. I'm like, okay, you know, that fits a narrative, you know. It was tough for me to win that game. I did win it, but it was tough. I could see in real life, I could see a coach shutting a guy down going, hey, look, man, you just don't have it out there. But what I don't understand is, like, I understand when you have a bum knee, you can't really step into a throw, right? But, dude, it took like 20 or 30 off my throwing power. Like, that's a lot. You know, like, if I blew
it makes me wonder if you play it again, if the story's exactly the same or some other
well, here's the thing. I am going to play it again because I'm going to make opposite decisions and see if the storyline stays the same, kind of a thing. But
now, see, I've been playing because I watched Leah play it. And honestly, I was just lazy, and it was in my PlayStation. I didn't want to get up and switch discs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I was playing. I've been playing Detroit Become Human.
Mm-hmm.
Which that game's been around for a while.
Yeah, sure. It was one of the
That's
free
like-
games for a while, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a free.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's with all the like DLC or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I bought it for Christmas, like when it came out.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Because she was like talking about how she wanted to play it so bad or
Yeah.
whatever.
I've heard it's a good game. I
So-
just haven't played it.
It's really good, yeah.
Yeah.
And she's played it multiple times because there's so much dialogue trees,
Oh,
and it shows
okay.
you at the end of like each, because it's not even like a game; it's like a playable movie.
Okay.
You know?
Is it similar
it-
to like those Telltale series where you just hit buttons at certain times and then also
there's a lot
choose
of quick time
dialogue?
event stuff. But you still
Okay.
got to like walk around and
Yeah.
parts.
That's how the Telltale stuff plays. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Okay.
But it's like at the end when you like go to an end of a scene, it basically shows you the whole tree of that scene. And then
Oh, okay.
I think when you replay the game, you can see the dialogue trees. You're like, oh, I haven't gone this yet.
Oh, okay. That's
You
cool.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
'Cause
that
obviously
because
I'm
if you're going to
making
give me
choices where I'm like the first time I'm playing it, I'm making the choices like I'm like, oh god, I can't let that poor girl's dad go beat the fuck out of her.
Yeah.
It's
This
not-
time
next
you're
I
like,
play,
I'll
I
go
gotta be
help.
Like, well, I guess she gets beat. you
right.
know?
Yeah. You're like, hey, buddy, here's a wrench. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So, dude, it gets worse though. So
look at
obviously
Wait.
you have to come back.
the herpes.
No, obviously you have to come back from the knee
Don't
injury.
call it a comeback.
Right.
I've been here for years.
So you get a goal of win comeback player of the year. Of course, I just destroy defenses coming back out because it gives you you lose your X factor, which is kind of like a special ability in the game.
Right.
So you have to re-earn it. But I'm just coming out laser rocket arm, just tearing up, just carving defenses. Right.
Like you do.
Yeah, we win the Super Bowl. Everybody's woo, all this. After that season, then the game is like. The coach lets you know that they brought in someone else and there's going to be an open competition at quarterback. My dude's rated 94. I just came off of almost 5,000 passing yard season, 49 touchdowns and 5 interceptions.
Bro,
Won the Super Bowl.
it's a competition.
I mean, but think about it in the real context. That would never happen.
No, that would never happen.
Take Manning in his prime or whatever. They're not bringing someone in to be competition for Peyton Manning. You're competing for backup, but you're not competing for his job.
The competition's gonna be best 2 out of 3 like Battleship or something.
I'm curious if it gets because my dude's only 6 or 7 seasons in at this point. Because you only
Right.
play 2 or 3 games per season in it. So I'm curious when a couple years, I'm getting close to that point that it's got to be getting close to a good narrative would be the team drafts the new young hot quarterback.
Right.
Right. And then you have to hold him off or whatever. What's weird is, the way you keep your job in this competition is through their practice things, which you have to hit 5 passes in a row in practice, and each one, it gets increasingly more difficult basically, So,
Okay.
so I do that. Coach is like, yeah, we're going to stay with you. And then you have the choice between going good or demanding your release. And it's like, why would you demand your release when the coach just said you're the starter?
Yeah,
it doesn't make any
that
sense.
doesn't make sense.
Now, when the coach says there's an open competition, that would have been the time because you could see a player of that caliber. If you're that good of a quarterback and the team brings in some rando free agent that's, oh, by the way, the guy's rating was 70. There's zero chance he's going to be better at any part of the game than my dude is.
Yeah, right.
So they're not going to bring in some scrub backup for, whoever, Drew Brees right now. They're not bringing in some scrubby ass backup going, hey, Drew, watch your back.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Okay. But if they did, then you could see a quarterback maybe going, hey, I want out of here. If you're bringing in somebody else, peace out,
Yeah,
homie.
Deuces, bitch. I'm out.
Yeah. But they don't give you, that's where I feel like they failed because they should give you choices like that to be an asshole or to make those individual decisions versus a team-based decision
I
or,
agree.
I feel like they really shit the bed on this story. There's all sorts of nuance and storylines they could have pulled from over the years. that are
Right.
real storylines, right? Like when my knee gets blown out, right? When I say, hey, I'm coming back, well, what if the backup dude's on fire, right? Tom Brady, that's his story. Drew Bledsoe was an all-pro quarterback.
Right.
You know, he hurt I think it was his knee. Brady came in and led him to the Super Bowl, you know, like, and that job was Tom Brady's from then on, basically.
Yeah.
You know, Drew Bledsoe still went on. He went to the Cowboys and Bills and had some productive years, but it was, you know, Tom Brady is, you know, considered the GOAT by many at this point.
Yeah.
You know?
Tom Brady's Tom Brady.
Yeah. So, you know, it's like if those storylines happen in the thing, I would be like, oh, this is cool. They're pulling from Tom Brady, you know, or after my knee, maybe have the team cut me because they didn't think I was going to be able to come back. And now I have to go find a new team or something, or, you know, like Drew Brees. Drew Brees played for San Diego, destroyed his shoulder. Everybody basically thought he was done. You know, New Orleans took a chance on him and it turned out pretty good, you know.
Right.
But
It
that
kinda
story
worked out a little bit.
Yeah, you know, that story could have went the other way though. You know, you never know on a quarterback destroys his shoulder, does he ever regain that strength and accuracy, blah blah. But anyway.
bloody.
Anyway, this story is just it's just making me shake my head. Well, the other part that I found funny was the one year it was like they were calling the team I was on the Dream Team, and I'm like, why? Like, I'm rated 94. We had Austin Hooper at tight end, who's like 90 something.
Hoop.
And I had a receiver that was good, but it's like my running back core was you know, my line was okay, my defense was pretty decent, but I was like, this is not a dream team. But
What's the dreamiest, Brian?
I guess. And some of the other stuff doesn't make sense either, because, you know, the coach brings you in, or the GM is like, you know, if you were to add a one more weapon to the team, what would it be? And it's like, my choices were a running back, which which wasn't better than the running backs I had,
Gatling gun,
or Travis Kelce, who's an all-world tight end. But I'm like, I already have Austin Hooper, who's really good. Like, I really don't need.
Right.
What?
If you're gonna bring a weapon on a team, it's a Gatling gun.
Yeah, or Wolverine.
Wolverine.
Weapon X, motherfucker.
Weapon X.
But it was like, these don't even make sense. Like, why wouldn't it be another receiver, not a tight end? I mean, you can run 2 tight end sets, but that's not the offense. You know, I was just like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, why not a big time running back or whatever? I was like, these things don't make any sense to me. It was so weird.
It sounds like a well-written storyline.
I kind of want to play the other positions too, like running back and wide receiver, just to see what.
Place kicker.
No, you can't. You can only be
God damn it.
Quarterback, receiver, or running back.
God damn it.
Yeah, I just, like I said, at this point, honestly, I want to convert, because you can at any time convert it to like normal franchise mode, and I want to do that so bad because I'd rather just play the game, but I also want to ride the storyline part all the way out.
I mean, I get it.
Yeah, but it just makes me shake my head so much. It reminds me of the baseball game that I play where, you know, my dude, I went on an incredible hot streak. I'm batting like 500. I'm leading the league in hits, and second in home runs. And the coach is like, you haven't really been doing enough. We're not gonna we're gonna cut your at bats or something. I'm like, what kind of manager are you? You take the hottest guy in the league and you're like, you know what? We're not going to put you on the field.
Yeah, you know what? Get the fuck out of here, actually.
Like, this doesn't make any sense. Why am I batting 8th in the lineup? I'm the best hitter in the league right now.
Because he's got money on the game.
Yeah, right? Because it's like, otherwise, why wouldn't you put me in the top 3? That way I bat more often, not less often.
Right.
It's so funny. You know, or those games, the funnier part will be, when it comes to contract time, you know, like you lead the league in hitting for like all 4 of the years of your contract or whatever. New contract time, they're like, we'll give you like a can of beans and a ham sandwich.
Like, oh, you don't say.
For a AA contract. Like, okay. Speaking of, I'm 6, almost 7 seasons through in that Madden thing. There's been, and I know you have a rookie contract. You know, the way the NFL works now, all the rookie contracts are set up ahead of time. Like, there's no real negotiation to them anymore.
Right.
But my dude should be hitting like free agency. And I'm like, are they not going to have this be a thing where I can walk away from the team?
Maybe not.
Or maybe I want to, and the team franchises me, and then I have to decide whether I want to be disgruntled or hold out, or like these are legit things. Like these are actual storylines that happen every year.
Right.
So I'm very curious if the people who wrote these stories actually even pay attention to football.
Probably not.
Because I feel like they don't.
Yeah, I would say they probably don't.
Yeah. Anyway.
If I'm a betting man, they don't.
Yeah, probably not. Anyway, so I guess how was your week or whatever you got to jump in here with? I've been dominating the conversation so far.
I mean, it was an all right week, I can't complain too much, I suppose.
Yeah. Good.
I mean, I think. I had was it labor? See, it's like work's been work,
Yeah.
It's all blurs together and shiznit. Playing some sweet D&D with the kids, doing that again on Friday.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. But I went to the, on West Toledo here, they do the Wednesday farmers market.
Mm-hmm.
Every Wednesday. It's like, we should go to farmers market. You're right, we should. That's like in the morning.
Yeah.
Wednesday night rolls around, completely forget about it, right?
Right.
So last Wednesday, I was like, hey, I'm coming home. And Michelle's like, oh, hey, I'm out in Sylvania doing a real estate thing. Do you want to meet at the farmer's market? Oh, yeah, let's do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Man, it was one packed. Like, I could not believe how busy it was. Two, the amount of not masks was shocking to me on both ends of the tables.
Oh, yeah, because it's outside, and the mask mandates don't count outside.
I mean, most people had them on, but there's a lot of people that were shopping, a lot of people selling that were not masking up, or they had to I was keeping my chin safe.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you got to make sure none of those aerosols get out of your chin. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, I was blown away, though.
Yeah.
By how many people were just, what's what I'm looking for?
Raw dogging
it?
Oh,
basically.
yeah. We went similar comparison there.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me, Brian. Crazy.
Yep.
But I mean, whatever. I mean, it was what it was.
Corona aside, I'm glad it was busy because the times I've been to that one, it was never really that busy. There were times where it was busier, but it was never really that busy.
Well, from what I hear, the the downtown farmers market they do on the weekends, and that one, the business has been up.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just because people want fresh veggies or they just want something to do.
Yeah, probably a little of both, but yeah.
But I mean, whatever. I'm happy for the people that sell shit down there because,
right.
I'd rather give them my money than Kroger's or something,
Yeah.
Yeah. But, it's just weird. Oh, God, excuse me. Yeah, it was just bizarre. I was expecting, I was like, oh, there's going to be a lot of people that just, but I wasn't expecting people selling the stuff.
Yeah, I'm actually a little surprised there isn't some sort of a mandate there. Kind of like, if you go into a restaurant, people don't have to wear their masks while they're eating and drinking, but the staff usually has them on, at least. And you'd think in that scenario that it would be something like that. There would be some sort of thing there. There probably just isn't really any real law on it because it's an outdoor space. It's not, even if you go to a patio, that counts as under the mandates. So I don't know if it's that or if it's just disregard for it. It wouldn't shock me if it's that either,
Right, for sure.
Because, that's where we are, There's a lot of people that just don't want to wear them or think this is all a hoax or whatever.
Yeah, well, those people are.
Yeah,
I'll just keep my opinions to myself.
No, I won't. They're idiots. But I don't care, man. I'm done with the tolerance on that bullshit. So.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. It is nuts, though. I've noticed different times. Like, I keep seeing people who are pulling the old wear the mask to get in the door kind of a thing if there's someone watching at the door and then taking the mask off.
Yeah.
Saw a guy in Target the other day walking around, didn't have his mask on, had a gator, had it pulled down, around his neck the whole time walking around the store. And then when he starts walking toward the front, he pulled it back up.
Well, Brian, people are assholes.
Yeah. Yep. I
Just
know.
saying.
Yep. I know. Got into an argument with somebody on Facebook the other day about, they were talking about how they can't breathe wearing a mask. And I'm like, go talk to a firefighter from California right now about wearing a mask.
Yeah. I was like,
try fighting up fire with a respirator on.
Yeah, I was like, I breathe just fine, and I work in a hot factory.
Yeah. A lot of it,
it's all physical shit, too.
I think a lot of it is just that people don't know how to actually breathe. Like, they don't.
You're probably 100%
don't
right.
know proper controlled breathing.
Yeah. I think you are correct, because they don't know what the hell they're doing.
I think people put them on and they start hyperventilating is what happens, because I think they start mouth breathing more.
Yes.
And you don't need to. You can still pull breath through your nose with the mask on. So,
No, I can't breathe. I'm dying. I'm getting my own carbon dioxide back.
Which is also not accurate, but yeah. Otherwise, again, doctors and nurses would, keel over.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah.
Douches.
Yep.
Anywho.
Yep, I know. It's confirmation bias. It's like finding any reason you can to confirm whatever it is that you want your agenda in that scenario,
Right, exactly.
Anyway, like you said, moving on.
Moving on. I did frickin' bottle my beer over the weekend.
Oh yeah, nice.
It went, for the first time doing it, it went well.
Excellent.
I wasn't sure what, I've never done it before.
Mm-hmm.
I got all the equipment, and it went actually really well. And
nice.
I got, 48 bottles back there in secondary fermentation, carbonating in the bottles. Hopefully I don't come downstairs in a week and there's just a mess from overcarbonation. I don't know.
Yeah. Definitely make sure they're not near anything else that could break.
Yeah, for sure, right?
I've heard some stories.
I was like, well, they're all, with the exception of 12 of them, they're all self-contained boxes.
Oh, okay.
But
yeah,
I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm I took a little sip of it before I because I was doing the hydrometer testing, which doesn't get me shit because I didn't have I couldn't test it the first time, so I don't know I don't know how much alcohol's in it.
Oh boy!
Basically, you can do a hydrometer test before it ferments and then after it ferments, and then you can do math and it'll tell you what the ABV is. You know?
Right.
I couldn't test it before, so I was just seeing if it still had any fermentable sugar in it, basically.
I'm just picturing if we were doing labels for this over ABV, we just have a question mark. Or you just put a skull and crossbones. Drink at your own risk on there.
But yeah, so I took a little sip, and it was a little sour, but not in a bad way, not in a funky, shitty vinegar way like the first time I tried making beer with that awful kid I got.
Oh, yeah, right.
But I was it was enough that I was like, oh no. So I immediately finished bottling, went to the Googles, and then everyone's online is basically it's just let it age. It's it's pretty standard for a brown ale.
Okay.
Okay. And then my favorite quote on the forum I was going through was it's your first beer. It's definitely going to be infected with paranoia.
Well,
that's 100% right.
I'm sure, when you have your first kid, right? I've seen, they had, was it Pampers, I think it was, or Love's, one of the two. I think it was Love's, had a commercial where it shows a woman with her first kid, and the babysitter shows up. She's got a list a mile long of things for the babysitter. And then it goes, and with your second child, and the babysitter shows up, the woman just goes, here, and hands the woman the kid and walks away.
I mean, it's super accurate.
Yeah,
you think the world's out to get you if your first kid. The second kid, you're like, God, it'll be fine.
Yeah, because I'm sure, you're paranoid, I would assume, of fucking up. And it's with the second kid, you're you're gonna fuck up.
Oh,
so
for sure.
You just try your best, and it's a whole different.
Accept fate.
Yeah. This is why I love when I hear parents saying, I'm so afraid of messing up. It's you're going to. It's just it's just gonna happen.
Yeah, don't be afraid.
Yeah.
Just accept it.
Yeah. All you can do is your best and hope that it's not too bad.
Leaf in the water, baby.
Right?
Leaf in the water.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
If an animal,
But yeah, so I'm I got, not next weekend, but the weekend after before I can crack one open outside just in case it pops off.
that's a smart move. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
see what I got going on here.
Nice.
But I'm dude, I can't tell you how excited I am.
Yeah.
I got reading a book, figuring out my next recipe. I'm gonna go all green. I'm all excited.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's my goal is to make like an all green. Did I talk about this already?
I think you did. Yeah.
I've talked about it with multiple people, so I can't remember.
Well, here's the thing. I remember you talking about it, so I don't know if it was when you and I hung out or if it was on here. So,
well, just
either way.
Long story short, I'm planning on having an all green setup
right.
by at least 2021.
Yeah.
Just piece it together.
Green expectations,
it's like I
baby.
find someone selling it online for dirt cheap.
Right. Or just go steal from somebody.
Yeah, it's true. Brick to the back of the head works every time.
That's right.
Sure.
Or just break in, take the stuff. Brick's a universal key,
dude,
right?
I've gone down that rabbit hole. I've been watching videos, reading books. I'm all over it.
Yeah. Nice.
Because, I like beer.
Yeah.
And I like making shit. So it kind of works out.
Yeah. Yeah. This is way better than making shell necklaces or something.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, you guys like hookah necklaces?
No, no one does except for people who shop at Hollister.
What's your birthstone? I'm sure I got a hookah necklace with your birthstone.
You like shark's teeth?
Get back in your van. Take your card table and get the fuck out of here.
That's not my van, bro.
I'm just standing here, bro.
You can't own things, man.
Dude, this...
No, wait, I got a better one.
Econoline got a spirit, man.
I got a better one. When you own things, the things own you, man.
Oh, that's the line right there. Yeah, that's very accurate.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I don't know.
Also, I figured out. Well, I already knew I had them, but man, fat fingers fucked me over this week.
Yeah.
When I'm at work, I always start off my day with a couple cups of coffee, but sometimes in the middle of the day you get that crash,
Mm-hmm.
And my, the coffee they offer at work is vending machine. It's terrible.
Delicious, yeah.
It's just like hot brown water.
Perfect, yeah.
Ugh. So I usually go to route of a Monster. Because, we've got all the, low carb ones and the, no sugar, no carb, bro.
Sure.
Monsters in the old vending machine.
Yeah.
Well, Fat Fingers McGee over here punched the wrong number, and I got just a normal ass Monster.
Yeah.
I don't know how people drink those.
Well, you do have to understand that, much like with Sody Pop, if you've been drinking diet and then you switch to regular, it's going to hit you different. So I think it's the same thing.
It was so sweet.
Yeah, but when you're used to drinking sweet like that, it doesn't seem so sweet.
I suppose.
Yeah.
I was like, it was like a punch in the face.
I'm with you though, because if and you know me, I never buy diet or low whatever shit because usually I don't like the aftertaste of the most low sugar stuff.
Yeah.
But if I'm buying one of the energy drinks, I always get the low sugar ones because otherwise it's just too much.
Yeah, it's like I actually like the flavor of the low sugar ones. Yeah. This tasted like asshole. I mean, it was so sweet. Like the low sugar ones that are sweet, but they're not like diabetes.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
Diabetes died.
Yeah. If only.
Finally.
And then it's like
diabetes died of heart disease.
Yeah, accurate in this country, right?
Yeah.
And then it had to have been from all the sugar in it, because if I drink the normal ones I drink, I get the caffeine, right?
Yeah.
And it's pleasant. I thought I was going to turn into Cornholio. I was fucked up.
That would have been awesome.
Oh my God.
I'm just picturing you walking around work asking people for TP for your bunghole and threatening them, and yeah.
It was bad. Because my dumb ass, I should have just bought one of the other ones and seeing if like someone I work with wanted that one. But I was
Yeah.
like, whatever. I paid for it.
Right. How bad could it be, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I took that first sip. I was like, oh my God. Ugh. And also, do not look at those nutrition labels.
Oh, yeah. Those are terrible.
Good Lord. Because after I took that first sip, I had to look. I was like, gee, I don't remember how much sugar it had in it.
Yeah. I think it's
But it
about
was an
10 pounds or
insane
so
amount.
per can. Yeah.
How much?
10 pounds.
Yeah, probably. Well, now I got to check.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
I
good
can't remember. They used to show it on the 5-Hour Energy ads. I can't remember what it is now. But it was quite a bit.
Insane, bro.
Yep.
Monster Energy sugar content. Well, let's see here. That's for one serving. How many servings are in a can, you asshole?
A can should be a serving because nobody drinks half of one and puts it back.
Yeah, exactly.
Or put, like, I'll drink the rest later. Like, most
There you
people that
go.
drink them drink the whole thing.
Okay, so, one can of Monster, Brian, is 2 servings.
Yeah,
So
sure
there's
it is.
50 grams of sugar in that can.
Nice. All right, so now you got to do one more conversion, which is how many how many teaspoons is 50 grams of sugar?
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me pull up our tab here.
I guess I could have just pulled the old ass Siri thing.
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. Hey, Siri. You dumb bitch. Hey, Siri. How many teaspoons are in a gram?
Teaspoons and grams are not compatible.
You're the worst. Oh, look, there's a Google search that tells me teaspoon to grams. Oh, cunt. 1 teaspoon is 4 grams of sugar.
Okay. Wow. Okay, so that's 15 teaspoons of sugar then?
Yes, right?
No, that's not right at all. You said 50. 4 times 15 is not
12
50.
and a half.
12 and a half.
teaspoons.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell I was thinking. Oh, man, I think I need to sit down with a math book.
You maybe need a full sugar Monster, Brian.
Yeah, maybe that's
Get
the
that
problem.
brain going.
Yeah, I guess. Jesus.
Yeah.
Wow.
That thing fucked me up, dude.
Yeah.
Seriously, for like hours. I did not feel right.
Well, I mean, I know it isn't like can you imagine like just, hey, I'm going to have a glass of water, right? And just putting 12 teaspoons or 12 and a half teaspoons of sugar into that glass of water and drinking it?
Yeah, it's lunacy.
That is crazy, And I mean, it's not that, well, I don't have a can. Normally I have a can of Coke or something here, but I have it in a cup, so I can't look now. But
Your cups don't have nutrition labels on it?
No. I pour into cups that deliberately don't have no. Perfect.
The cup just says totally nutritious.
Yeah.
Vitamins and shit.
It's spelled wrong and yeah.
Exactly.
Oh,
It's
dude,
liver.
we went to Boston Market tonight for dinner,
Oh,
right? Yeah, which whatever. But on the sign,
I mean, I haven't had it in a while, but I used to dig their meatloaf.
that I always get a meatloaf sandwich from there is what I usually get.
There you go.
So,
Yeah.
so
Just to make sure the mayo's good.
no, there was no
advertised.
they don't put mayo on it. So, and
Those
if they
savages. You
well,
should burn the place to
I
the ground.
I would ask for no mayo because my tummy doesn't like mayo. So
I mean,
yeah.
apparently mine doesn't like mayo from like 4 years ago. Or whatever.
Yeah, what kind of horrible
Or does
stomach
it?
do you have?
Yeah. Yeah.
Only likes mayo that's within its date.
Yeah. Dangerous mayo.
Yeah. But they had a sign, a handwritten sign, of course, taped to the window that basically said, that they don't have nickels or dimes. And I looked at the sign and I was like, looked at it again and I was like, they spelled nickels wrong. Like, damn it.
Oh God. Please tell me, how did they spell it?
Like Nichols Bakery here.
Okay.
Like the Nickles.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's not how you spell nickel. I was like, damn it. So I said something because, I'm that asshole. I was like, hey, do you know your sign spelled wrong? And the girl's like, yeah, we've had various people tell us. And in my head, I'm going, that's even worse. It's bad enough if it's up there spelled wrong and somebody just didn't know it. But the fact that it's spelled wrong, people tell you it's spelled wrong, and you don't tear it down and fix
They're
it.
like, yeah, we don't care. Like, bro, we're slinging chicken and mashed potatoes. We don't give a fuck about that.
You're right.
sign.
You're right. I probably wouldn't give a shit either. Yeah. I just hate when people choose ignorance. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I agree.
well, I guess that's not even choosing ignorance. You can't claim ignorance if you've been presented with the facts.
It's just accepting that
Acceptance,
it's
yeah.
wrong.
It's like, okay.
Yeah, it's gone out of the realm of ignorance into the realm of just pure fucking lazy.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Either that or the person we were talking to was the one who wrote it and was like, fuck you.
yeah, exactly.
I ain't changing it.
It'd be great if someone's like, you know your sign is spelled right. I'm like, no, actually, it's right. We're out of dimes and nickels bread.
Yeah. That would be kind of funny. Oh, my mistake.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. Oh, we have plenty of nickels. They just start pouring them out. They just have cups of nickels sitting
Yeah,
on the
we
counter.
got tons of these. We
Like-
just don't have any loaves of that white
Yeah.
bread.
Yeah. We've gone through it so fast. It's amazing. Yeesh.
Yeesh is right. So I got some weird ass neighbors across the street.
Yeah.
Anyone who follows me on Instagram / face page
Mm-hmm.
might remember Sideways Pizza Guy.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm once again out on my porch just trying to enjoy my life.
Right.
And I look across the street and I think, because this is what you do in a neighborhood. You start to like speculate on other people's
Oh,
lives.
yeah, totally. Try to figure
know?
out their stories. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm
Uh-huh.
like, these people are probably going through like a divorce or something.
Yeah.
Because they're always yelling at each other. You don't see the woman very often. And when you do, she's just there to do laundry and yell at their son and whatever.
Oh, nice.
It's a great relationship.
Yeah.
So I'm just sitting on the porch, loving life, enjoying myself. And she's just sitting by her car. And the back door's open, the trunk's open.
She's just
leaning
sobbing.
on it.
Yeah.
And the house, like the screen door's propped open and like the main door's open, just wide open for like 10 minutes.
Mm.
To the point that she like kind of rearranged stuff in her car. She actually moved her car forward a little bit. I was just like, what is going on here? And then the dude comes walking out of the house holding a big ass flat screen TV. And it's got all these wires and shit hanging off the back. And he's got them all just kind of bundled up.
Okay, so that's why everything was open, and she was waiting on him to bring the TV out.
Yeah.
He probably
Right.
still had to disconnect it.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Once I saw that, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think they eyeballed the trunk, realizing
Oh,
it wasn't going to
no.
go in the trunk, right?
Yeah.
Shoved it in the back seat of the car.
Did they wrap a towel or anything around it?
Well, no, but there was some cushion.
Okay.
Because when they backed out of driveway, because they rode together, or left together, when they backed out of driveway and rode away, their fucking child was in the back seat,
Oh, jeez.
in a car seat.
Wow. Well, at least they're in a car
Big-ass
seat.
TV.
I mean, jeez.
And then not 5 minutes later, the dude was back in a different car.
Okay.
I don't know what's happening. It's fascinating.
They were robbing the house. Other people actually live there. They're just
Maybe
they're away on vacation and they're just slowly just robbing them. They're doing it slow so no one thinks anything of it,
But just the fact they put the TV in the back seat
I've-
with their kid.
Yeah. Well, I've seen an adult ride in the back seat with the TV to kind of help stabilize the TV, but yeah.
No, this kid is not old enough to do anything. But like when we first got Bomber,
Yeah.
Bomber slipped out of the back gate. And she loves kids
Yeah.
and ran across the street.
You
'cause
mean
there was a
eating
kid
them,
there.
right?
Hmm?
Eating them, right?
I mean, at that time she was very bitey, so
Yeah.
anything was possible. But and that kid just freaked out and ran around the yard while the parents yelled at it.
That makes sense.
And I'm trying to calm down of course, because the kids ran and Bomber gets, super excited and they're like, stop, yeah. It's like, oh my God, these fucking people.
Right.
Yeah. Anywho, I don't know, just weird ass neighbors.
Yeah.
I kind of wish I didn't, work most of the day because I would almost just like to sit out on the front
No,
porch
just-
and just like have coffee and just take notes.
Tony,
you know?
this is America. Put a camera out on them and you can watch them
I
from
mean, I
wherever
got
you
my
want.
Ring doorbell out there.
Yeah. No, you need
Yeah.
something a little better so you can zoom in,
That's true.
Really
That's true.
get the story,
Yeah, I need like a chargeable drone nest on top of my house. I can just
Yeah, there you
like
go.
fly down on them.
That would be funny, because, knowing you'd probably think you're like, I'm like 15, 20 feet away above them, Meanwhile, you're like literally sitting on the guy's shoulder with the drone.
Yeah, exactly. You just
Yeah. Is someone cutting the grass? Like, what's going on? It's
the
like
hell is that?
right over his head. His toupee gets caught in it.
Yeah, it's just so weird, man.
Yeah.
But right before we started recording, you're talking how you watch a wee bit of football.
Yeah. I because
As did I.
this weekend was fucking awful for me.
Oh yeah,
Dude, I basically spent about 5 hours awake combined between Saturday and Sunday
well, that sounds like a great time.
because I had migraines so bad. Like, I took some of my Imitrex for it, and it helped, but it made me go sleepies for a while. But that was
Right.
the best that it did for me. And even then, like, I woke up a few times, like, it was hurting so bad it woke me up. And yeah, that was fun. And it sucks because we had really nice weather. I mean, it's humid, a little humid over the weekend, but it was still really nice. It was only like 70 or 73 or something. And with humidity and that low of a temperature, it's not that bad.
Right.
Because there's still a cool breeze blowing or whatever. Oh my God, though. It was so horrible. So yeah, I watched part of the Thursday night game. And then I didn't watch anything Sunday because of my headache, and then, so last night I watched half of the first game and all of the second game, which I got to say, it's so always weird when they do that doubleheader on Monday night thing. Because
Yeah,
the
it is
second game
weird.
doesn't start until like after 10.
Yeah, it's like, who the fuck's watching this?
I mean, me, but
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, but it is amazing because there's a lot of people who, that have to work. Luckily, the way the game went, there was a lot of running the ball and short passes, so the clock kept moving a lot through
Right.
the game. So it didn't take a long time, but it was still, that game was crazy, man. Gostkowski missed 4 kicks in the game. Like 3 field goals and an extra point attempt. And,
The crowd probably freaked him out.
yeah. Well, it was weird because you've watched games. So were they pumping in crowd noise in all the games?
Yeah, I don't like it.
I hate that. Like, I really dislike that. It was
Yeah.
so weird. What was funny to me, though, was last night in, which game was it? I think it was the later game, the Titans and Broncos. Yeah. The Locke, the Broncos quarterback, was having trouble hearing. There must have been some issues with the headset, in the his helmet, because he kept, how the quarterbacks will put their hands over the ear holes so they can hear better,
Yeah.
to block out the noise. And he was doing that, and I'm sitting there going, they're on offense, and they're in Denver, and it's like, I wonder if the rule is if you pump in the crowd noise, it has to be like you have to consistently do it so that you're not giving anyone the unfair advantage. But if the crowd was there, they'd be quiet on offense and loud as hell on defense.
Well, are they pumping in crowd noise in the stadium or just on the live feed?
I think it's in the stadium. And I think
Really?
then their mics are picking it up for the home. That way it still sounds, air quote,
Oh,
authentic.
interesting.
Because he kept like putting his hands over his ears, and I'm sitting there going, why don't they turn the crowd noise down so he can fucking hear? It's the home team,
See, I thought it was going to be just on TV because you remember, like,
It could be. I don't know for sure, but
you remember when, like, the Golf Channel or whatever was pumping in birds to make it sound like it was more majestic, and then there's that one creepy bird that's like, that bird doesn't live there, and
Yeah.
caught him out on their bullshit.
yeah. Yep.
So I thought it was maybe the same thing. They're just doing it so people sitting at home are like, oh, there's a crowd. I feel like it's the game, guys.
It could be. I don't know.
I don't know either, though.
One thing that was kind of cool I thought about it was you get to hear like all the little adjustments that are made.
Yeah.
Not just the quarterback, whereas, normally the crowd noise drowns out most of the stuff except for the quarterback and, doing all their adjustments. But you got to hear like the offensive line and the linebackers and everybody checking guys down and calling out their assignments and stuff, and hearing the sidelines yelling stuff. I thought it was kind of an interesting thing because you don't normally get to hear that you know, as a fan. You know, it's like watching MMA.
Jesus.
Dude, you can hear every little thing now, whereas before you could hear, sometimes you hear the corner people, but man, you can hear every little
Oh, yeah.
comment now in the MMA. It's very weird.
Yeah, like I was, because I was trying to figure out the best way, which I'll get into that, the best way to watch NFL this year.
Yeah.
But out in my garage, I got a TV mounted in there so I could like listen to Spotify and shit. I got
Sure.
Chromecast hooked to it, but it's also hooked to an antenna that's like I put way up in the peak inside a garage.
Oh, right.
So I was like, oh fuck, I was already outside. I'm like, I'll just turn on the game and I'll just kind of listen to it. And that's
Right.
what, the first thing that got me is I heard, and I'm like,
Yeah.
there's no one there. What is going on here? You
Yeah.
know, I didn't actually watch the game per se,
Yeah.
but I listened to it, and it was weird.
It was. Yeah, I didn't care for that. 'Cause
Yeah,
I also didn't like it because it doesn't feel like WWE's kind of doing that too, where they're pumping
Right.
in, like when they want, like when a heel says something and the crowd should boo, they're pumping in boos, and it helps a little bit because you know they're trying to establish mood and
Yeah.
whatnot, and you know if you're a wrestling fan, the crowd makes a big difference in the vibe you get during the shows, you know, because when the crowd boos the heel, it kind of adds to the things. Plus, it allows the wrestlers to kind of feed off of those things. It gives them that they can feed off the energy a little bit that isn't actually there, you know.
right.
So yeah, but in football, it's weird. I don't know. I watched a college game the other night, and they did not pump in crowd noise, and I think I would just rather they don't do it.
Yeah, it's just because I know it's false. I don't like it.
Yeah, it's a laugh track.
Yeah,
You know, it's weird. Like I don't know, man. I get it. Maybe they're just doing it because it does add a semblance of of the feeling of normal to the players if they're doing it in
Maybe.
the arena. But if they're
Well,
just
you know,
doing
I'm
it for
gonna
TV,
Google it.
I was gonna say if they're only doing it for TV, they should just turn it off because I don't think it
Yeah.
helps. Or they need to re-engineer it
Yeah, for sure.
because I don't think the games I watched, I don't think it helped. You know. It wasn't like
Here.
over the top annoying, but it was just kind of like it was just kind of there, and there wasn't enough of a break to it. It just didn't feel natural.
Yeah, I agree. See here. It's fake crowd noise. Fake crowd noise on NFL broadcast inside the stadiums. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to
well,
find.
And also last night, like the Titans Broncos game, they had, I think they said about 500 people in the stands. And I guess
Yeah, I know some stadiums are allowing some people in.
Yeah, because they said, I think, what is it, in like a month or something like that, that in Denver they're going to allow like 5,000 fans,
Right.
you know, and space them out and everything. But, yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
Okay, so if you're in the stadium, there is a steady stream of fake crowd noises from the PA system.
Okay.
But the people on TV hear a different feed of fake crowd noises.
Okay. I wonder why that is. Because if they pump it in the stadium, you think, I mean, you know how it is, like ESPN, they're going to have mics everywhere.
Yeah.
So you'd think that just the normal miking of the stadium would pick up that stuff. Huh.
That's just weird.
Yeah. Like I said, I didn't care for it. I can see where it'd be nice for the players, though, where it would kind of give them a little feeling of things still being normal rather than being like at practice or something.
Right,
you
right.
know. For that sake, I can understand it, you know. Like I heard one of the golfers talk about how, you know, because they were asking them about not playing in front of fans, and he was kind of like, well, when we play, everyone's quiet, so it's really not a big deal to me, you know,
Yes, it's
kind of
like,
a thing.
whatever.
He's like, you know, you miss the crowd cheering for your shots and stuff. Or, you know how it is, you hear that swell of emotion, like on a long putt, you know, the crowd's kind of like... You know, you can just kind of feel that feeling, and then when it drops, the crowd goes crazy or whatever. But, you know,
Right.
otherwise it's like, yeah, every time they go to hit the ball, everyone's supposed to shut up. So, you know.
Yeah, shut your goddamn pie hole.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was trying to figure out the best way for me to watch football this year, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't have cable. And I was like, oh, you know what? I have Verizon. I can watch the games through my phone.
Yeah.
through the NFL app, which is okay.
Right. Can't Chromecast it though.
Yeah, and exactly. Can't
Yeah.
Chromecast it.
Can't
Makes me wonder
use-
if I had Apple TV.
Nope.
If I could. Okay, so see, there you go.
You can
So now
only
I was-
watch it on the device that you have the Verizon whatever through. But I don't know if you can get around it by like hooking a cable to your phone and hooking it to the TV. I don't know if that would work. I don't know.
I don't know.
But I know because the first year Verizon introduced that, I was like, awesome, because we didn't have NFL Network, but all the NFL Network games were on Verizon.
Right.
So I was like, sweet, I can still watch the games. And I'm thinking,
Yeah.
I have an Apple TV, I have an iPhone, I'll just throw it to my TV and I'll just sit and watch the game. Not so fast, my friend.
Okay, that answers that then, because I was thinking about that. I was like, well,
Yeah.
maybe I'll just get an Apple TV and I'll just screen mirror.
Yeah, nope, they block it. However it is they do it, but they block.
Bastards.
Yeah.
Well, because I was also
Because
like,
I contacted Verizon about it also and was like, hey, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I pay for this. Why can't I just send it to my TV and watch it? Because I don't want to watch it on my tiny little phone when I can watch it on my bigger TV.
yeah,
or even my
that's where I was at.
iPad or something,
Yeah,
Because I even
That's,
tried like throwing it to my iPad first.
It didn't work.
And it didn't work. And I was like, well, I'll try the TV. Nope.
So I was like thinking like, okay, well maybe I was like, they had the Red Zone that was like $5 a month last year,
Yeah.
digitally.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I can't watch the games, but I kind of prefer the Red Zone channel anyway because there's no commercials, it's all action.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, let me look into that, and it's through the NFL app, so I guess even I still won't be able to put it on my screen. I found out today that the NFL fucked up. But when I looked at it, it was said $34.99 a month.
Okay.
And I was like, fuck you.
Yeah, no doubt. Like, I know the NFL season's not that many months, but still, nope.
Yeah. Well, it turns out it's a one-time fee of $34.99,
Okay.
and then it's for the rest of the year.
Okay, that's really
But they
not
just fucked up in
bad.
their app. 'Cause
Yeah,
it says
okay.
per month.
Right. Because
But I
$35
just am
bucks
just
for
like-
the season's not bad. But you're right. It's like, can I only watch it on my phone? Because I don't want to only watch it on my phone.
Exactly. It's like I don't want to watch, so that's why I'm like, well, whatever. What I'm going to end up doing is going up into my house and like the spare room I have up there and putting an antenna up, and
Yeah.
then just running. Well, actually, there's coaxial cable running through out this house already,
Yeah,
so maybe I can just hijack some cable that's maybe hopefully up there, and
right.
I'll just hook an antenna because I had a antenna on my TV before, but when you have it down on the first floor, you don't pick up shit.
Yeah, it's
You gotta get
better.
that bug up high, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, when I was using an antenna for a short time here, I had for like every channel I had to readjust it, which really was annoying, especially
like the one I got outside, I actually pick up a decent amount of stuff, and
Yeah.
it's just,
you just have to I just had to readjust it to get that fine tune, to where things would come in, but they were a little fuzzy or whatever. It's like,
right.
so once I figured out what I was going to watch, then I'd get up and walk over and fiddle with the antenna. But there was really no like flipping through the channels or flipping back and forth because it didn't work real well, which really sucked for football because, on Sundays, CBS and Fox usually have games at the same time.
yeah.
So I'd flip back and forth, but I couldn't. Well, I could, but I'd have to keep getting up and adjusting the antenna if I wanted to.
But I'll tell you, if I could get the NFL app on my Fire TV, I would probably buy the Red Zone.
Yeah.
And
You
be
might look
happy
into
if I
it.
could watch it on my TV.
They might let you do that for that. The Verizon
know.
one, I think, is just because Verizon's deal is that they can only broadcast it onto Verizon devices. Like if
Yeah.
on my iPad, if it was a Verizon activated iPad, where I'm using their plan, then you could watch it on there. So, that's I think that's just in the language of their contract. To
Right.
where certain things have certain rights and don't have other rights. I think that's what it comes down to. But for the
It's
Red
just
Zone,
horseshit.
I don't know, because that's
Yeah, I
directly
don't know
through the
either.
NFL. That's not Verizon. That's actually the NFL.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I kind of just kind of like, whatever. And I stopped dicking around if because we were busy. But,
Yeah.
I
Right.
might do some more research this week.
Yeah, I can understand that because, like you said,
Right.
it is kind of fun to watch that way.
Yeah, I mean, I like the Red Zone channel, and it's like, although it would suck because I don't know what they do when it hits playoff time.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
You know,
Yeah,
so
no
I don't know.
idea on that. Yeah, because
I wish there was an easier way to stream football games
yeah,
without having a cable provider.
right. Well, I
That's
know
really the big hang-up.
the NFL did offer like a streaming thing, but it's really expensive.
Yeah, oh, it is. I looked at that too. And
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not paying that.
That's the easiest way, but it's not affordable at all.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, whatever. I guess it is what it is.
because I've looked into that. I thought about doing that too, because then you can watch whatever game you want except for your local game, because that's still subject to blackout and blah blah blah. You know, you
Yeah,
may
blah.
you may not be able to watch it because of just licensing rights and whatever, but you can watch anything else.
Right.
So yeah, it's
Eh.
yep, exactly.
Anywho. But no, I mean, for the extent of all that shite, that's basically been my week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, sounds all right though.
Yeah, it's been not too shabby.
Let me pull up what I got here, because I'm trying to remember. Like, I know I have some stuff I was going to talk about. Oh, so you saw, I'm sure, or heard at least, that all the details for the Xbox launch came out for the new system.
I mean, I saw little bits and pieces, but I didn't really pay attention to it, I'll be honest.
Ah, okay. So they've got one of the things they're doing for the new systems is Xbox is doing what's it called? It's called I think it's called like there it is, Xbox All Access.
Right.
Right? You can get either the Series X or the Series S, which the Series S is digital only. Right?
Okay.
And whatever. And like, it doesn't have 4K capability, which for me, I don't care because I don't have a 4K TV. So that really makes no difference to me. I'm probably not going to have one anytime soon, because even if my TV in my room dies, I have another TV sitting in this room. So I'll just use that one, like it's not likely I'm buying a 4K TV in the next, who knows, Anywho, but this all access thing allows you can get either of the systems, right? First off, the pre-orders for the Xbox start on the 22nd of this month. So in a week from today, the pre-sales start. So you can get for $34.99 a month for 24 months, nothing up front, no interest on it. You can get the Xbox Series X console and 24 months of the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, which is the one that includes the Xbox Live Gold and their Xbox Games Pass for $35 a month. No money up front.
Interesting.
Which is really affordable for a brand new
right?
console, and the Games Pass is cool because you get all the stuff they offer on that Games Pass.
Right.
For the Series S, it's $24.99 a month. That's for the digital only, but you get the Game Pass with that also. Also, they announced the other day that the EA Sports, I forgot what it is, EA All Access or something like that, where they have games you can stream and play and whatever type of thing. That's going to be included with the Xbox Games Pass before long. So even if you don't get these, it'll be included. But and then they also have. Oh, I didn't. Interesting. Okay. They have another one that popped up. This wasn't here when I looked before. It's $22.99 a month for 24 months. Blah blah blah. You get the heck? Oh, okay. I see. Never mind. This is where you buy an Xbox One and then you can upgrade to the Series X after that.
Right.
And like the stores where you're going to be able to do the all access are like Best Buy, Walmart, Target, GameStop. And I also read that GameStop is talking that they're going to have like a layaway option also.
Oh, nice.
To where, obviously you don't get the system till it's paid off, but you can, which it's something to consider though, because there's going to be, if you're looking to get one of these before Christmas, they're not going to be around. They're going to be gone because,
absolutely.
First of all, there's going to be people pre-ordering as many as they can because eBay, but also, or Amazon, whatever, but also on top of that, just because, it'll be a hot item. So, but yeah, I thought the options for it, I thought were really good. Or you can straight out buy it, obviously.
Right.
But I was like,
for sure.
I was like, man, I was like, man, I might give some real consideration to getting one of these. I before was kind of like, whatever. But when I saw that, and I'm like, man, you get the Games Pass and the thing for $35 a month. I mean, the only downside is you're tied in for 2 years.
Right.
But still, that's a hell of a value for somebody who's just looking to get in the door. And it's funny because for years, was it like errands or different places like that? There's some of them, I can't remember who it was, where you could get Xbox and PlayStations.
Oh yeah.
But you had to pay it was way too much a month for the thing.
Well, like anything in those rental places,
Yeah.
It was like, oh, you want a $200 whatever? Yeah, you can rent it for us for like $10 a month. And then you end up paying like $600.
Yeah,
by
right.
the time you're done with it.
Right. So but I think I read that there's also that GameStop or one of them. I don't quote me on this, but I thought that I read that they were
quoting you.
that they were
I'm writing
talking
it down right now.
Damn it! That they were talking about doing a kind of a rent to own on the thing too. So maybe that's that last one I was talking about. Maybe that's what it is you pay for a while and then you upgrade. Like when it's all paid off, maybe you end up with a Xbox Series S or X or something.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna really think about it because $35 a month's pretty nice, but it's also like I have to make sure, especially with not having a job, like am I going to be able to afford $35 a month? As weird as that may sound, I just
Well, plus with your internet situation too.
Yeah, that was the other thing I have to consider because it's like, obviously I'm not going to get the all digital one because for me that would be really stupid. The guy at GameStop also told me that you can take all your stuff, like if you have an Xbox One, all your saves on your hard drive, and you can plug them into, plug your hard drive into the new one to basically, and then you could just pull what save files you need to the
that's cool,
to the SSD or whatever, and then if you're not playing that game, you could move it back or whatever, so that you could kind of have some different memory options there to move stuff around to give you more space on the hard drive. Because I think the hard drive space is 1 terabyte from the get go.
Right.
So, and Sony,
we've seen how much modern games eat up space.
Dude, no doubt. And it ain't going to get better with the new systems.
Oh,
it's
going to get worse.
Those A-level titles are going to take up a lot of space.
Yeah.
So, and we're recording on a Tuesday, the 15th, and tomorrow, the greatest day of the year, is
Naturally.
also the day that Sony is supposed to drop knowledge on the PS5.
Oh, nice.
So I'm very curious, especially with Microsoft dropping this kind of thing. It's like, okay, Sony, both systems waited as long as they could. Finally, Xbox had their hand tipped a little bit, and then was just kind of like, you know what? Yeah, here it is.
Yeah.
So now Sony, you get the advantage of going second. But can they top or at least match this? Because if Sony offers the same kind of thing, I'm definitely going to get a PS5.
Right.
Because especially like they're talking most of the big games will be backwards compatible.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, they were originally talking that you'd be able to go like all the way back or quite a ways back, and now they've kind of the talk on that is kind of quieted down to where it sounds more like it's going to be PS4 for sure.
You're going to be able to go all the way back to the last generation.
Yeah, PS3 maybe, but probably not. So I'm very curious. Although, like, I'm not one of those. There's not any like real PS3 games I'm pining to play.
Right.
Also, I don't own any anymore. I've sold them all off.
I'm like, honestly, every time I hear backwards compatible, my initial thought is fucking sweet. But I don't know if I'd ever go back and play those games.
Yeah, well, there's some I would like. Here's where to me backwards compatibility matters. Is one, if you haven't gotten through a game yet, but even then, it's like
fair enough.
It also depends on if you're the type that sells your old systems or not. Like I usually will sell the last gen to buy the new gen.
Right.
You know, I'll just apply whatever I sell the last one for to get the new. But there's times where I don't necessarily want to do that, and I've done it. Like right now, to get an Xbox Series X, I'm more than okay selling my Xbox One.
Right.
You know, there's only a few games that I have for it that, you know, but if it has backwards compatibility, you know, basically it's Stardew Valley. Let's be honest. That's basically the only game where I'm like, I have to be able to play this.
I mean, that should be backwards compatible. It's not like you need a lot to really get
Yeah,
that
right.
going.
I would hope, but who knows?
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, that's big stuff from Microsoft, though. I think that really helped because, you know, I like the console wars this time. I feel like Sony won this round. I don't know
Right.
if they did, but it really feels like it because the exclusives and I don't know. It just feels like Sony really kind of finished stronger than Xbox did in you know this generation. Whereas I kind of feel like the next generation, I feel like Xbox was the one that announced first, hey, we're doing a new system. So I kind of feel like they're the ones that want to push the next gen thing. So I think they needed to come out swinging.
Fair enough, right?
Because I really don't think Sony wanted to put another system out yet. Because Sony's
Right.
always been reluctant about, like, they do it, but they're just like, but then
They're like ride or die with their system.
yeah, you know, and then it's like, well, yeah, but we're still going to support the last one for 10 more years.
Right, exactly.
You know, whereas Xbox is pretty much like, here's our new one. We'll put a few things out, and then it's like 6 months down the road, they're like, yeah, that's dead to us. We're moving on. You know, they look at it more like a computer company. You know,
I mean, it's probably the
'cause-
best way to look at it,
Yeah.
honestly. But
Yeah.
at the same time, it's kind of nice the way Sony just, you know, just like, breathe, damn it.
Yeah, well, it's also nice because, you know, like you're a good example, right? Like, look how late into the PS4 cycle you got a PS4, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, you just got one not that long ago. Now, if they had, like, a trade-up option like Xbox seems to have, it'd be different maybe. Because maybe then
Right.
you go, you know, maybe, you know, because if I can keep my games and still play them, but
Right.
I get the advantage of I can also go get the new hotness. Like, whenever a new game drops, if it's only for the PS5, you have that option, you know. Like, I think there's a lot of people that they can grab with that, of course.
Well, for sure.
So we'll see. We'll see. But I'm
Uh,
very,
Sure.
very excited for tomorrow to hear what Sony has to say, though. Because,
Right.
you know, oh, what's funny, though, there's still no release date for the Xbox One. Just the pre-orders are the September 22nd. That's when they start. So,
Right.
and Sony's pre-orders, I don't know if you saw how they did it. They had a thing where you could request to go on a list for pre-order.
No, I honestly,
It was
you know
crazy.
me, I've never been the type to like new systems coming out.
Yeah.
I know they're coming, but I haven't really paid much
Yeah.
attention to them.
I'm
Especially lately, it's just like gaming's been like back burner
Yeah.
for me too.
I'm really not as far as like, oh my God, I have to have the new thing. I'm paying attention to it because, you know, I've just seen stuff and it's interesting. I do
Right.
I do like watching the fight between the companies to see, especially
That
now
is always
because
entertaining.
you notice like as the generations of these consoles go on, the exclusives are getting farther, you know, few and farther between. Like there's not as many as there used to be.
Right.
You're seeing a lot of it, or there's a lot of games that are now looking at the crossplay concept to where it's like, well, it doesn't matter what system you get because, you know, you can still play with your friends even though they got it on Xbox. Whereas in the past, like, I bought an Xbox just to play games with you guys.
Right.
I got a 360 just to play games with you guys. You know, now granted, there were games I wanted to play like the Fable series and whatever, but, you know, it was like, I might not have bought one if it wasn't that for all my friends were playing on Xbox.
Yeah, they're like, well, fine, guys.
Right, you know? But like this generation, I bought PlayStation because the people I knew at the time, everybody had PlayStation, but then we ended up not really playing together, so it doesn't matter.
It's true, right?
You know, even you and I, like when we play together and stuff, it's fine. But it's like everybody else that I knew that was like, "Oh, you got to get a PlayStation." It's like, okay, well, I'll go PlayStation instead of Xbox, and you know, now nobody plays together.
Yeah, I know, right?
Kind of funny, but anyway, good stuff there. Maybe. Let's see, what else do I have here? Whoops, shit. Where did it go? There it is. Did you see they announced the finalists for this year's Toy Hall of Fame?
No, I did not.
All right,
What's that?
We've talked about this in the past for, you know, kind of like what toys are up for getting in or whatever. I was trying to see, because I can't remember. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so the 3 toys that receive the most public votes will be submitted and will join the other top 3 submissions by the members of the National Selection Advisory Committee. Okay. I thought... Anyway, so... The hell does this not have... Well, shit. Sorry, the article I have, I thought had... I got a fucking ad popping up.
Naturally. Bastards.
The part that sucks about pulling this up on my phone instead. Okay, here we go. So this year's finalists are Baby Nancy, which is a line of dolls. I don't know, man. I don't know about that one, because I've seen a lot of Baby Nancy stuff just sit on shelves. Like, I don't know that I would say it like moves. It's not like, you know, I don't feel like it belongs anywhere near like Bratz and Barbie. Maybe it does, but I don't think it does.
It does, right in the trash.
Yeah. Bingo, which surprisingly enough, Bingo's not already in there, but
like Bingo, like the game Bingo.
Yes. Although I feel like Bingo is more synonymous with like old ladies now at the local hall or whatever, you know, than it is with
100%
anything.
true, yeah.
Than it's seen as a toy. Although I did play Bingo a lot as a kid. We had a Bingo, like, you know, set at home, and we used to play a lot. So I don't know on that one. I probably would not vote for it, even though it's kind of an iconic game. I'm not sure that I would vote for that one. Briar Horses. Those have been around a long time, and I know there's a ton of people who collect those. So that one I can see getting votes. Jenga.
That's fascinating. That's not in there.
Yeah, I can see Jenga, because Jenga's grown to the fact that, I mean, there's people, I mean, we've seen them at the bars where there's these giant wooden sets of it.
Yeah, big giant Jenga.
Which is the dumbest idea ever, but, or one of the dumbest ideas, because, you know, let's put a bunch of drunk people around a bunch of pieces of wood that can make a giant mess. Seems real smart. And scare the shit out of people when it falls.
Also.
Jeez, but I can see Jenga. Light Bright. That one I can definitely see, because my siblings had Light Brights, and they still make them.
Oh, yeah. I actually have a Light Bright right here.
I've got one back here that's a newer one. So, you know, like I said, that one I can see. It's been around forever. What's next? Masters of the Universe. I think we're both going to vote pro on that, because...
Well, yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Plus Masters.
Yeah.
Masters.
Also, it's a pretty iconic line. I mean, they're still making toys of it now.
Right.
Like, they've remade and remade and remade and remade, you know, and Funko Pops have been making them and all that kind of stuff. So that's definitely an iconic toy line. Also, one of the best ever at literally just being a commercial for toys. That's all that cartoon was. So I think, even though the cartoon has nothing to do with this, I just think the fact that they were like, hey, we want to sell this line of toys. Let's make a cartoon.
Yeah, let's make a 20-minute commercial with commercials.
And that recipe has been repeated over and over and over. So,
oh, yeah, for sure.
My Little Pony, which, as much as you and I love those, I can totally understand that one, especially with the resurgence of it because of bronies.
Ugh.
Risk, I can definitely get behind, because Risk is... Again, it's been a game that's been around for a long time, too, and played by a lot of people. It's been played competitively, and I guess bingo has too. I guess I shouldn't have shit on bingo, but
No, you should.
the next one makes me laugh. Sidewalk chalk.
What?
Yeah, sidewalk chalk. I mean, it's been
Where
around
is this
forever.
Hall of Fame, and why can't we light it on fire?
Yeah, sidewalk chalk can, listen, it's got its place in childhood and everything, but in the Toy Hall of Fame, I don't know, man. I mean, maybe if you want to argue, like, we've all used it. Like,
Oh,
just
yeah,
about
man,
everybody has used it.
I mean, I bought some fresh ones just for the,
Yeah.
the backyard to just fuck
Yeah.
around with, to be honest.
And they're delicious. I give them out on Halloween. I slice them like they're those Necco wafers. And
I mean, they taste the same.
yeah. Sorry, the board game.
Right?
That one I can see because, again, it's been around since, like this forever, 60s, 70s, something like that, I think. Tamagotchi. Those were
Wow.
huge for a hot minute.
They were, yeah.
That one I'm a little about, and it's funny because I'm curious how people vote on that because, like, our generation, that just missed us. I know a lot of people.
I remember I had one,
Yeah.
but I let them die every time.
Yeah, I think our generation was, well, I guess it didn't miss us, but I feel like we were at the older end of that group.
Yeah.
You
I was like, yay, I got a fucking digital thing we can keep alive. And it's like 5 minutes later, I'm like, I don't care about this
Yeah.
thing.
I hardly.
hope you shit everywhere and there's digital shit all over the screen.
It's like I barely care about myself, about a Tamagotchi.
Yeah, basically, right?
Let's see, what's next? And Yahtzee is the last one.
Wow, fair enough.
And again, hard to argue with that. But again, it's like, okay, so if like 6 of those 12 can get in from the way that read, to me, the easy ones to leave out are chalk and yeah, see, I would leave chalk, bingo out for sure. Baby Nancy, I'd leave out.
Fuck Baby Nancy. That's what I say.
Man, it's tough. He-Man, My Little Pony, I think, are automatic includes. I really feel like Light Bright should be. Risk might get left out. I might leave Risk out. That's tough. I don't know. There's some tough ones in there. Sorry, I would probably leave out. Like, Sorry would be that one that would be like, just missed the cut.
Right.
Because again, God, I played that so much as a kid, and they've sold so many copies of that damn game. It's one of those, like, how there's like the staple, like, family board games that have been out as long as we've been alive, at least.
Yes.
Sorry is in that group for sure. So, and Yahtzee is another one that would be right there. But yeah. Anyway, I always like looking at those because I'm curious what they nominate. By the way, how's it taking He-Man this long to get in? What the fuck?
Yeah, that's why I'm like, is this the first year they're doing this? Or I don't
Not
understand.
at all. Not at all. Yeah.
Hmm.
So, yeah. It's all right. So there's that. Do you have anything else?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
I got
I have a couple other things. I just didn't want to keep running if you got stuff too.
Go ahead.
All right. Did you see that they're saying there's basically going to be like little to no Marshmallow Peeps until Easter?
Really?
Yeah, I guess they're really like putting the clamps on them until Easter because Easter's obviously their big holiday for Peeps.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, for sure.
But yeah, no, looks like, but over the last few years, they've been putting out like, pumpkin spice ones and a million different flavors, peppermint ones at Christmas and whatever. So they've really been trying to make it to where it's not just a one time a year candy or treat, whatever the hell you want to call it. It's funny. When I was a kid, I loved those damn things because I love marshmallows. I still do love marshmallows.
Right. I usually got to do at least one Peep situation a year.
Yeah, that's where I'm at too. It's like, okay, like honestly, I was at Target a few days ago. I saw Boo Berry. Had to get it, got to have my yearly blue poops. So, got to have the blue poops once a year.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. So, I got my one box of them because they're only available at this time of year and then they go away, which is stupid,
right.
But whatever. I'm actually kind of glad they do because otherwise I might be tempted at other times to buy them.
I mean, yeah.
I really don't need them because they're just shit. They're just garbage. But
it's a good kind of garbage.
it's you know how it is. It's one of those things from childhood. That
Yeah.
Most
No,
kids
I totally get it.
most kids were about Count Chocula, and I was like, fuck that. Give me Boo Berry all day, baby.
Right?
But-
All day.
All day.
Well,
Yeah. So, all right. So, what do you got? I'll let you throw it in there. I have a couple more, but I'll let you throw it in.
well, I threw out, earlier today, like, hey, sorry we're recording late, but anything we should talk about,
Right.
Yeah.
And
Doug Lingerie, he asked us if we could go 48 hours of anything sweet. No soda, candy, fruit, juice, honey, etc., or anything that's a sweet taste. It's not about health or sugar. It's about avoiding anything with a sweet taste.
Could I? Sure. Would I?
Yeah.
Probably not, because I mean, I'll put it this way. Like, I generally drink like one pop a day, and it's mainly just for the maintenance of caffeine.
Right.
I could cut it out. I like it. So I have like a can a day. I don't, I try really hard not to go, today I'm blowing it out of the water. I got a large drink with my dinner. So
You'd be all right.
yeah. I'm just like three of them. So I basically drinking like that monster you had worth of sugar here. But anyway, I mean, I could though, because there are days where I really don't. I mean, aside from just what's in food,
Right.
whatever, like, but I just don't really have any like sugary treats or whatever other than a thing. Especially as I've gotten older, I like sugary stuff, but I don't gorge on it or whatever. So I can control it a lot easier than when I was younger. I actually crave savory more than anything, like salty more than anything.
Oh, yeah. For sure, right?
Yeah, it'd be harder probably for me to give up like salty food for 2 days. Just because I do like if I have popcorn, I want it salty. If I have, chips, I want some salt on them, so. But yeah, I know you can give up sugar for multiple days because
I've done it before.
Yeah, I was going to say, you've already done it.
Yeah.
It would be hard for me though, because I'm still in the addicted part of it.
Right.
It
is rough. It is rough to shake.
Yeah.
But it's like once you, slay that demon, it's like whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I do enjoy a nice little dessert. Like yesterday we had a little slice of carrot cake.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Nice.
But if I didn't have it, I would be fine too.
Yeah. That's the way I like I said, that's the way I am a lot of times with the stuff is that, you notice like how many times we've gone out for food over the years, and you notice I rarely ever order a dessert of any kind.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'd rather just eat more dinner than leave room for dessert. You know what I mean? Like, or cram dessert in. Like, honestly, my dessert ends up really being the beers we drink with the meal.
Right.
Because that space that would go to dessert, pretty much that beer's going to have taken up already.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Right.
So, yeah. It's an interesting one though, because it would be really difficult for a lot of people. And like you said, you've already lived through it, so you know what it's like to do it.
Yeah. I mean, it sucks, but it is,
Yeah.
Once you do it, it's easy.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Don't get me wrong. Like I said, I could do it. I'd be miserable for those 2 days probably though, because my body would be craving it because, I'm hooked on it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it is literally, like going through withdrawals, basically.
Right. Because I know I can get my caffeine other ways, than pop. So there are options there. I could drink a tea or something like that and get a non-sweetened tea, but it still has caffeine or whatever, or just not have caffeine for a few days. Because
right,
honestly, the only reason I kind of do it for the caffeine is because I just try to keep anything that can keep a headache away from me. I try to kind of do. So,
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. Good question though, Dougie.
And then Dev requested we talk about butt stuff. So
Classic Dev.
Which, I think that's probably one of the only ads or advertised t-shirts that comes up on my Instagram was just a UFO that says "Get in, we're doing butt stuff." I don't know why it makes me laugh every time.
That's funny though. I like the fact that it sounds like they're giving you the choice.
Yeah.
even though we all know they're not.
Yeah, aliens just probe for
Right.
You know,
Well,
coming
they're telling you get in, we're doing butt stuff, but it seems so friendly. Like, come on, we're doing butt stuff, kind of a thing. You don't
Right,
realize
that's
at first that they're not going to give you like they're saying it nicely, and if you don't listen, they're just going to zap you and bring you on anyway.
Yeah, regardless, you're doing butt stuff.
Right. Just a matter of whether you want to or you fight it.
And then our buddy Phil, he sent us over on Snapchat. I don't know if he was responding to the thing I put out, but he sent us a thing anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I saw this, I think it was either late yesterday or early this morning, that it was South Dakota's Attorney General killed a dude with his car.
Yeah.
Says he thought he hit a deer.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. Now I have some questions real quick. Was the man dressed as a deer?
I mean, that's a good question. I'm going to say probably not.
Because maybe he's just out in the middle of the night prancing about, hopping across the street, thinking, hey, I see the deer crossing sign. I'm good. And then this guy just comes through barreling in his, I don't know, 79 Eldorado. And I don't even know if that's a thing.
Well, he said he was leaving a Republican fundraising event in a small town.
Yeah.
Says, I didn't see what I hit. I stopped my vehicle immediately to investigate. Said he thought it was a large animal, but it was a dude. My thought is he probably hit the guy and was like, oh, fuck, I just hit a guy.
Yeah. What can I say to get out of this?
And then figure this out.
Yeah, right. Does it say like had he had a few to drink or anything along those lines?
He did not consume any alcohol during or after the event.
Well, I would hope the police did I hope he submitted to a breathalyzer and whatnot.
Yeah.
Just for his own sake, because if he didn't, then that would certainly help his cause. Because otherwise, that's going to be the first thing people are thinking is that he's had a few happy sauces and. I
mean, I've never hit a person. I've never hit a deer.
Yeah.
But I've ran over animals.
Yeah. And
you always see them motherfuckers in your headlights.
Yeah, unless he was distracted while he was driving or something, like look down at his phone and whoops a daisy, you didn't realize you jumped the sidewalk or something,
Yeah. I don't know. There's something that seems very shady about this.
Yeah. I mean, it's because when you're driving and paying attention, you'd assume, hey, I saw a person. Although realistically, all kidding aside, there are a lot of stories out there of people where someone's just stepped out in front of them or whatever, or like that one that was on, God, what was that on Risk or The Moth with that woman where she was drunk and she thought she was hitting trash bags and she was hitting people.
All right.
Oh my God. What an awful story that was to hear, So yeah, but you're right. It's hard to not look at this and go about the old. I thought he was a deer. Kind of. It's the old hunting excuse. You just shoot somebody and go, "Whoopsies! I thought you were a deer."
Yeah.
Like Haas. I was standing in front or right next to you.
Yeah, my gut tells me that he knew he hit a guy and he was just like, "Oh fuck."
Yeah.
Like the old which Kennedy was it that drowned that chick at like Montauk Bay or whatever?
Allegedly.
Allegedly, and it was just like drove home. I don't know what happened. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, and what'd you say this guy's job is? Didn't you say he's a prosecutor or something?
He's a South Dakota district attorney.
Yeah, so this is a dude who's a lawyer, so he, probably already knows something like someone came before him and this was their alibi and he goes, "This is good. I'm going to back pocket that one."
Yeah, exactly. Like, "Hold on. Hey Siri, make a note for me."
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It seems suspect to me. I'll be curious to see what comes out in the future.
Yeah, does it say is he going to be charged or anything?
It's all investigating right now.
They got to charge him with something. He killed somebody.
Yeah.
I would assume that it's got to be reckless driving or something at least involved.
Manslaughter or something.
Yeah, it wouldn't shock me if they charge him with something they just please down.
Oh yeah, well, because it'd be like, oh well, he'll get off on good behavior. He'll be in there for 2 weeks.
Yeah. Well, plus if he's
playing tennis and shit,
he's a what do you call it? A civil servant. so that usually works in your favor. You know?
Right.
So, but whatever. You know, well, it's too bad somebody got killed over it.
Tis.
Jeez.
Yeah. Jeez Louise.
Good gravy, people. Don't be hitting people. Even if they do look like deer.
Yeah, stop wearing deer hats out there in Dakotas.
I know. Silly people.
Jumping out in front of cars and shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as you do, you know?
It's true. Well, I mean, to be fair. I don't know. I mean, people that walk down dark roads, they kind of just jump out of nowhere. Because I used to get
That's
that
what I was saying. Yeah, there's stories like that of people just stepping out of nowhere, and you're like, oh, shit. Because some of those areas are so dark, you can't see anything.
There was one night we used to podcast at your spot, and I was driving home after the podcast. And I don't know if you remember on Summerfield Road, there was that one part where it like curves to the left going to my house.
Yeah.
And I went around that curve, and there was just when we were done podcasting, it was like midnight, 1 a.m.
Yeah.
There was just a fucking dude on his bike.
Yeah. Sure.
I almost took him out, you know?
I've seen some of that with some of the back roads up here where it starts, you know, where there's just like no street lights and stuff.
Yeah.
And you'll just be like, I remember actually a couple of times me and T coming up to your house and seeing somebody on a bike, and we almost didn't see him. Because, like you said, there's a couple spots on the way up there that are not lit really well, and it's.
So, I mean,
I'm
not saying it's not possible. This guy thought he hit a deer, but it did say he pulled over and looked around, and
yeah.
I mean, unless that dude went flying.
Which I mean, we don't know how fast he was going, so maybe he, you know, you picture, you know, if you're on a road and there's nobody else around, maybe you know your foot gets a little heavy on the accelerator and.
Yeah, exactly. He's got like the best of Sticks jamming or something.
Yeah, Sticks. Oh, you. All right.
Anyway, but yeah, that wraps up everything I have
right.
until we get to the Q to W stuff.
I got a couple more. I mean, this here. So this article I found, it said, did scientists just discover the real cure for a hangover? And, you know, I've seen tons of these over the years.
Bring it.
Right? Yeah, especially as we get older, right?
Yeah, really.
Like, sweet, I can have more than 3 beers.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But it says researchers have concluded that a supplement of L-cysteine can significantly reduce hangover symptoms in those who take it while drinking. It says it significantly reduces anxiety, stress, headache, and nausea in the people.
Wow, these are all good things.
Yeah, in people who took it versus the placebo group.
Just got my sparkling water treats
Now,
me.
it says, you know, it's available pretty much everywhere as a supplement already, but they do warn that, you know, more testing needs to be done. They're not encouraging people to go out and buy.
People just start mainlining the shit.
Yeah, well, also, they tested a placebo group, a group that took 600 milligrams, I think, and then 1,200 milligrams, I think. Yeah, there it is. And the more they, you know, at 1,200, they felt very little effects the next day. But also, like they said, they don't know if the long term, if this is safe. So, you know, if you're someone who drinks a lot and we're like, oh, I'll just take this and, you know.
Yeah, well, I feel like fucking amazing and stuff.
Also, you know, as you and I found out as we've aged, it's like, look, if you pre and post game right, you can usually whack down the next day feelings pretty decent. You know?
Yeah, as long as
just
you eat and hydrate and don't act like a complete tool when you're drinking. Don't drink like a frat boy when you get older.
Yep. Are you over 30? Then you should be putting spacers between your drinks.
Exactly.
And
don't do shots. Sip like a gentleman.
Right. Exactly. And then the next day, take some, or when you get home, couple of, you know, Advil or something like that.
Yeah.
Giant glass of water.
Some Grandpa's cough syrup.
No, Tony. No.
What?
No Grandpa's cough syrup.
What?
First of all, it's not even really cough syrup. It's just whiskey.
No wonder I like it so much.
Yeah, it's delicious. What I thought was funny is when they were talking about, I'm trying to find it in the article here, the group that they tested, because, you know, they had to get volunteers to basically get hammered to test this on. Because this isn't, you know, like most of the time when they're like, oh, well, this will allow you to beat a breathalyzer. Basically, all you have to do is get legally drunk, which is nothing, you know?
Right.
So it says the subjects who participated in the study were given a special concoction of cranberry juice and Koshin Korva, a Finnish liquor. They each spent 3 hours drinking, and the concentration of the alcohol in the drinks was roughly 10%. Once the subjects were, air quote, clearly intoxicated, the researchers gave them one of the 3 pills, like I mentioned, and then, had the results as I mentioned. So, yeah, I just thought it was kind of funny, too. There was like, geez, they allowed them to drink 10% for 3 hours, basically. So they probably got fucked up.
I've had higher ABV beers than that. Bring it on, bitch.
Yeah.
I got higher ABV beers in my fridge right now.
Me too. I was trying to think. I was like, yeah, I do. I actually have a couple that are... No, I don't, actually. They're like just under 10%. Anyway...
I'm ready to do a scientific study then, I guess.
I just think it's funny that there's still science being done on this, and it's like, I don't know, man. It's one of those things. I kind of feel like hangovers are something that should exist, because we eliminate hangovers. Oh boy, that's one of the few things keeping me from drinking like a maniac when we're out sometimes. Because we're out sometimes, those beers go down easy, and you're like, man, I could drink 10 or 12 of these.
Oh yeah. I stand by the Tim Ferriss, quote of "There is no biological free rides."
Yeah, exactly. And I kind of feel like, the concept of a hangover is the brakes. I don't feel like you should drive with no brakes.
Yeah.
I just feel like that's a terrible idea waiting to happen. So,
like, there's only so many mornings you can wake up and feel like complete death. They're like, I need to adjust when I go out.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing, is taking this supplement may help with your hangovers, but the fact that you're drinking to excess regularly enough, like that's still going to have its toll on you. Like you said, no biological free rides,
Yeah.
You're still going to have, potential, liver or kidney issues from drinking so much. So,
for sure.
Maybe let's just leave hangovers as they are. Like I said, pre and post game a little bit, and let's just do our best. Let's just do our best to leave the hangovers for the 20-year-olds.
Accurate.
That's kind of my feeling on it now. I just don't. I don't want them, man, because it takes too damn long to get over them now.
Yeah, exactly right.
All right, so the last story I got here, speaking of alcohol, is nuts. I got to open this back up. There's a Taco Bell that is now selling its own custom wine. And my first thought was, oh God, I hope it's not Baja Blast. Because I'm not gonna lie, I went to Taco Bell a few nights ago, and I'm like, blah blah, box of nachos. And comes with a drink, and I'm like, Mountain Dew, and the guy's like, oh, we're out of Mountain Dew. He's like, is Baja Blast okay? And I'm like, how about a Pepsi?
Yeah.
Because
how about no?
I do not like that Baja Blast. It tastes like mouthwash to me. Or God, what was it? I've seen like memes going around where it shows like a bottle of Windex, but they have the Mountain Dew Baja Blast logo on it. Looks like a spray bottle of Windex.
I mean, accurate, right?
Yep. So it says Taco Bell is debuting its own custom wine, Jalapeno Noir, to pair with its toasted cheesy chalupa. The tantalizing combination is only available for a limited time in Canada, to celebrate the launch of the menu item. So I guess
you wacky Canucks.
I'm just pissed we can't go get them. I don't understand why Canada gets everything fancy.
I mean,
Jesus.
If you're gonna get a fancy gordita or whatever.
Oh my God, dude, you gotta listen to this next part. I haven't actually read this whole thing. I just saw the headline and was like, well, this sounds like something to talk about. Taco Bell Canada said in a release, the duo is irresistible. Now listen, if they're talking about us, they're right. They're talking They're talking about this food and this wine, probably not true. Adding that the rich taste and crunchy texture, also things people describe about us, of the beloved toasted cheesy chalupa complements notes of wild strawberry, cherry, and beetroot in this silky limited edition red wine. The wine is made at an Ontario, Canada vineyard. The wine, which is being called a collector's item because it has 3 unique bottle labels, costs $25 Canadian or about $1.90 US. No, $19 US. It's not even look how close they are. That's not that different anymore. Fans can buy it on Taco Bell's Canada website or in some locations in Ontario. The wine won't be sold in the U.S. once the same chalupa rolls out in November. That edition is part of a broader menu shakeup that saw people get pissed because, They took off the Mexican pizza and some other shit.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, make your own goddamn Mexican pizza, people.
I know, it's really not hard. That's actually, honestly, the Taco Bell equivalent of the McGriddle is their Crunchwrap Supreme,
Right.
right? Which is usually what I get when I go there because I love those things. But I looked up, and like when I saw how to make them, I'm like, oh my God, this is so damn easy. And I've made them a couple of times because you just like buy tostadas or make them if you're inclined. But I bought them because I'm not going to make them. And literally, it's, the like 5 Taco Bell ingredients inside of it. The only thing that's hard to replicate is the Taco Bell cheese. Because you can buy various like, cheese dips or whatever at the stores, but it's not quite the same as the Taco Bell cheese. But other than that, it's spot on. So,
right.
Because it's just seasoned beef, lettuce, tomato, sour cream, their cheese, and then the tostadas. I think that's all that's on it.
Can you make it in a toaster oven?
I mean, you could, but the way you...
Shit, I said toaster oven. I meant to say a waffle maker.
I don't... Yeah, because really your only goal... Everything's cooked, like the meat's already cooked going in. So really all you need to do is put that toast on the outside of the tortilla.
What if you're part of the raw diet, though?
I don't know what to tell you on that one. Probably shouldn't have beef inside it then.
That'd be all right. Actually, I prefer chicken.
Yeah. No, that seems like a really bad idea.
Oh, okay.
You could, though, because like literally all you do is you assemble the thing, and then when you fold it, to close it, you put it upside down, like on the fold in a really hot skillet, because when it toasts, it firms up, so it'll stay closed, and then you flip it over, toast the other side, and serve. So, yeah, you could probably waffle iron it.
I mean...
Because literally all you're doing is trying to seal the thing so it doesn't just flop back open when you're trying to eat it.
Right.
Plus, a nice toasted tortilla is all right anyway.
I mean, you can't go wrong with toast tortilla.
Right.
All the alliteration, too. Toast tortilla.
True. No? All right. So that's all the stories I got there. I do have a quick shut up and take my money, though.
No. Oh, fuck, the soundboard turned off.
Don't worry about it then.
Shut up and take my money.
Shut up and take my money.
There you go.
So they announced today that, even though the toy fairs and Comic-Cons and stuff are not going on, Funko is still putting out the Pops that were going to come out for them. And today they announced they're doing a 6-inch Fezzik.
That's pretty cool.
So naturally, I gotta have one of those because I have the other Princess Bride ones, and it's Fezzik. I fucking have that.
It's Fezzik.
As soon as I saw that,
bigger than everybody too.
Yeah, exactly.
Should be.
I'm so happy that they made it a 6-inch one. Just a few months ago, they put out an Andre the Giant that's a 6-inch one instead of being.
Also, they're just using the same mold. You lazy bastards.
Maybe, I don't care. It looks good though. Like they did a good job on it. It's probably the same head though. I didn't look, but it is probably a similar head. Because why not? You already have it.
Why wouldn't you? Makes sense.
Yeah, why pay for a new likeness and mold?
Yeah.
But anywho, yeah, there are pictures of it around. I'm not sure if I'll have it in the show notes or not, but pretty excited about that one. So, and oddly enough, so far of the ones they've shown for the New York Comic-Con or whatever, that's pretty much the only one that I'm like, yeah, I gotta have that one. So
I needs it.
I need it. Yeah. I don't want things. I need things. See, needing things is an adult thing. Right. So let's move to the Q of the W.
Well, last week we asked, would you take a 50% chance of dying instantly right now for, what's that, $100 million?
Yeah.
If you live, why or why not? So, good old Gordon Poutine, he says he'd do it for $50 US.
Well, he does live in Canada, so that's like $55.
Well, it's like, Dev responded, that's like $100 million in Canada, right? And then Dev added, Depends on if the death is quick or drawn out. Quick, no doubt. Slow, probably not.
What if you didn't know though? Right? Like
I mean,
you're just
I
told
guess
you're
that's
going to
a
die.
chance to
Like
take.
you don't know how you're going to die. You're just going to die.
I guess that is the chance you take.
Yeah. Could be horrible.
Could be horrible. Could be like a pleasant death.
Yeah. Or maybe you just, that's it. You just fall asleep and it's over.
I mean, since Dev's talking butt stuff, what if it's death by big booty bitches?
Wait, what are they doing to your butt stuff though? Death by
No,
snoo
that's not
snoo?
explained.
I mean, death by snoo snoo might be okay, but death by pegging, less positive.
Yeah. It seems aggressive.
Yeah.
Owie.
Probably not how I wanted to go. I'll have to check my notes, but pretty
Yeah.
sure it's not in my top, I don't know, 1,000.
Yeah. Hey, Siri, read me my notes.
Yeah. Your notes are not compatible with Graham's.
Ugh, Siri sucks. Just saying.
All right. Do you have any
Anywho.
other?
No, it's all we got.
I just remembered that actually I had an answer from Cheeto. Let's hope this
Oh,
opens.
crowd favorite Cheeto Bandito.
Yeah. All right. You know what? I'm just going to look it up on my phone because my computer does not want to play nice here. All right. So he says, nope. I was already given a second lease on life and I pushed the limits of that enough. Can't double down.
Fair enough.
He's singing, know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, know when to run.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yep. Which, go figure. He's talking about, quoting a song from a man who's R.I.P.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I mean, Wilford Brimley was a beautiful singer.
No, not Wilford Brimley.
What?
No, not Wilford Brimley, you silly goose.
Oh, well, my bad.
This is totally unrelated, but did you see...
Don't you remember Wilford Brimley's chicken?
Wilford Brimley's Roasters, yeah.
Yeah, it was delicious.
The duet he did with Dolly Parton, that was great.
It was sweet.
Now I'm just picturing this. And I kind of want to, that app that's out there now that lets you put your face on GIFs.
Faceify or whatever else.
Yeah,
it's
I
called.
kind of want to just put Wilford Brimley's face on Kenny Rogers and just do a bunch of GIFs. Did you see I think it was on Twitter, that Steve Martin posted a picture of himself wearing a mask, like, for
Yeah, I did see
with the
this.
big sign that says "I'm Steve Martin" or it says
Yeah.
Steve Martin and arrows pointing down.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Good
Big
time.
fan.
Yeah, quite funny. All right,
Quite nice.
that's all I got for the Q of the W. So guess we do this week's.
All right. Let's go with number 5.
Oh, thank you. I don't have to scroll down.
There you go.
All right. What's a societal norm that doesn't make sense to you?
Pants.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. I know it's gonna be pants. I just knew it.
A societal norm that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Okay. This is one that I've been thinking about lately because I've been working my dick off. Why do we spend more time with people that aren't part of our families? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I spend more time at my job than I do actually at home.
Yeah.
Why the fuck is that a normal thing in this country?
Yeah. I'm with you because my answer was going to be something similar in that I was going to say, why do we celebrate, like, essentially the concept of being overly busy?
Yes.
Or that kind of a thing, because it was either going to be that or it was going to be, why do we still, knowing what we know, why do we still wear it like it's a badge of honor that we don't sleep enough?
Right.
When we're constantly getting information telling us how horrible, like that's like the worst thing for you is not getting enough sleep, or one of the worst things for us is not getting enough sleep. And people still, I'll sleep when I'm dead. And, sleep is for the weak. And yeah, man, only 4 hours of sleep last night. As someone who's done this a lot in their life, trust me, I'm not.
It's not a good time.
No, I was going to say, I am not wearing that as a badge of honor. I would much rather be able to go back and have those hours of sleep.
Oh, yeah.
So, I don't.
So there you go.
I don't get it on those things. So yeah.
I don't get it. Either one, I don't get either.
Yeah. I'm with you though. You know why? Like I saw an article today. This feeds off of what you were saying. Essentially, saw an article today that it was like this guy's admirable. He made like $100,000 last year driving for, I don't remember if it was Uber or Lyft, but he's driving at like 84 hours a week. I'm like, fuck that noise, man. First of all, you could make less and probably do okay.
Right.
Why are you driving 84 hours, man? That's a lot of time in your car, and that's a lot of wear on your head. I don't drive, but I've been with people who after 4 or 5 hours of driving, or 6, or like you would drive all day, and you're kind of brain dead from driving all day.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know? So why? No, I'm not going to celebrate that guy. I'm glad he's willing to go bust his ass to make a living. That's great. That's good work ethic. But there's, much as you and I well know, there's a difference between good work ethic and, you know, there like Henno and I have talked about this on The Crazy Life, how a strength can become a weakness very easily. And I think that guy crosses the tipping point.
Yes.
You know, to where it's like, hey, if you said he worked 40 hours or did that 40 hours a week, made $50,000 a year driving for Lyft or Uber, that's respectable. You know what I mean? Like, that's like, hey, you know, that's an okay income, and that's not a ton of hours a week. That's a normal job level. When you tell me he's working 80 hours a week, it's like, nah, man, I've worked 60, 70 hours in a week for way less money, of course, but it was still the idea. I worked that many hours and was like, I'm not going to keep doing this because this is terrible. So no thanks.
Yeah.
And I'm also not going to celebrate.
I used to work with a guy at my previous job that he would clear $100,000 a year in a factory.
Yeah.
But it's because he worked every day.
Right? It's like, nah.
So he was working 7 days a week, 12 hours a day, every day of the year.
Because, you know, like, I've always been like, what are you working for?
Yeah.
Like, it's different here's the thing, right? Like, if I'm 20 and I'm working that many hours and I'm like, hey, I'm trying to pay my student loans off while I'm young, okay, maybe I admire that.
Right.
If I'm 60, fuck that noise, man. I ain't trying to work myself into the grave. That's all you're doing at that point. You don't need to do
exactly.
that. You know, I mean, unless you have like restrictive medical bills or something, maybe. I mean, there might be reasons, but overall, it's like, dude, all you're going to do is kill yourself early.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly.
So,
I don't want to be that guy either.
Right. Like you talked to, was it a few months ago or whatever, about that one coworker of yours that was he 50 or 60 that worked all the time?
Yeah. He was like 57 or something like that.
And the only reason he worked was because he needed insurance and he busted his ass, and, you know, it's like,
yeah, what did it get him? Right.
Now, granted, you know, my luck would be that I'll have that mentality and live to be like 170, but, you know, to where it's like, God, I still got to work.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no thanks. And I'm not against working. I'm all for working and working hard and all that kind of shit. But I'm also very much like, hey, there's a certain point where you got to put yourself first.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I said, what are you working for? You know, one of my Twitter friends is a doctor and in a trauma or like an emergency room kind of person. And when he goes on vacation, man, he goes hard on vacation. You know, like he plays hard, you know, because his work is so stressful. He needs that balance.
Yeah,
you know,
makes sense to me.
We talk about that a lot on The Crazy Life about, you know, seeking balance and stuff. And, yeah, when you push yourself into 80 hours a week, how do you balance that?
You don't.
Even if you really, really like what you do. Say the dude has fun driving around. Say he has fun with his passengers, all that. There's still an element of fatigue involved. And it's like, do you only sleep when you're not working? Because I wouldn't have time for anything else.
No, it's no bueno.
Yeah.
That's actually why I quit that last job.
Right.
I was working way too much. There was no balance. I was like, I can't do this shit.
Exactly. And I'm telling you, for anyone listening, especially if you're younger, listen to us old guys. Balance is what you should seek in life, not happiness or materials.
Right.
You know,
exactly.
If you work hard, play hard, you know, and I'm not saying go blow all your money. I'm just saying make sure that, you know, you enjoy life also. If you're busting your ass, make sure you're busting your ass for the ability to enjoy something.
Yes, exactly.
So anyway, step off the soapbox there.
Yep. That's enough of that.
Yeah. All right, back to the dick and fart jokes.
Excellent.
What societal norm that doesn't make sense to you? Why can't we fart in public? Anyway. All right, so there you go. I guess, head on over to saltylanguage.com. Yeah, crazy kids. I don't know.
You bastards.
Yeah, bastards. Yeah. I'm going to be careful. I don't want to step on S. Anthony's toes. I ain't trying to call people bastards,
Yeah, good point. Good point.
Yeah. But yeah, go check out our website. All the episodes are available there. You can find the links to the show stuff that are in the show notes. I don't know. There's other stuff there. I don't know.
Stuff.
Go click the things, If you want to contact us, you can find us on Twitter at salty_language. You can find me at Stunami.
You can find me at Monotony. And we're on, face page. We're on Instagram, Salty Language.
So
or just
you can find
sometimes pod, my bad.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at Stunami if you want.
Yeah. Well, I guess I am the Monotony.
Monotony.
Yeah, just go check us out. Check out our things and stuff.
Yeah. And, if you see our Q of the W's, answer them or share them if you would. We'd appreciate either one, even if you don't want to answer it. Please share with your friends. And
I mean, that'd be cool.
Help us get some answers to our deep questions.
So deep.
So deep.
Put your ass to sleep.
There it is. I was waiting for it. I was like, all right, one of us has got to hit that. So, all right. So there you go. So until next week, have a beer, you'll be fine.
Stay so salty.
The saltiest.
The saltiest.
Yeah. And remember, kids, seek balance.
That was like a wise way to go out and shit.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm like Confucius and shit.
Hell yeah.
I want that on a shirt, right?
Confucius
like,
and shit.
Yeah, like seek balance, Brian. And then another quote, it's like, I'm like Confucius and shit. I wish I could name the episode Confucius and shit.
That would be funny.